That family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Johnson, former coach of the year. So the New Orleans Pelicans now have their new head coach, and they've gone through their own coaching carousel. Avery, what do you make of this hire, Willie Green to the Pelicans?
Well, Willie's done an outstanding job, as an assistant coach. He was with the Warriors, and, I know Monty Williams personally, and he raves about Willie, and I had a chance to spend some time with Willie at the Suns training camp 2 years ago, pre-COVID. So he's going to do a really good job. I've heard he's a really likable guy. I think the connectivity with he and Zion Williamson is going to be critical. And I just think it's a lot of pressure on everybody involved with the Pelicans because they didn't get Stan Van Gundy coaching job right. Whenever you have to fire a coach after 1 year and he's got to leave with a very hefty payday just for him to move on, that's not a good sign. So I know they're hoping that they've gotten it right with Willie Green because I think the future of this franchise is really hanging in the balance with the decision that Zion Williamson is going to make moving forward, especially now that he's on his third coach in 3 years.
You mentioned it right there, third coach in 3 years. I mean, how does that affect a player like Zion when they just get into the league?
Well, it affects Zion the same way it affects quarterbacks in the NFL when they're on their third offensive coordinator in 3 years. You just can't really build anything, any chemistry or synergy. So I just think with Zion, he's got to have some stability. And the stability is going to come from the head coach, the coaching staff, because he needs to lay the right foundation in terms of moving forward, because he's going to have to make a decision on whether he wants to move forward in the future with the Pelicans or he wants to move on the same way Drew Holiday, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and others have done in the past.
Avery Johnson, Coach Avery Johnson, dropping the science in this episode of the Pelican post-game report. And for all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Big ups to the flock. I salute the flock. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream. Much love to y'all. I'm Big Q chiming on this installment of the Pelican post-game report. We in the building. Big ups to the fam. Much love to you guys. And I got my co-host chiming in the Pelican post-game report. DC, what's happening, fam?
What's happening, brother? What's up, flockers? Let's get it, man. We finally got a coach, y'all. Whew. Everybody could breathe a sigh of relief. We have a coach. It is officially official now.
It's official, right? And it is. We're gonna get reaction, man, from us as well. We're gonna cover this today, DC, as well. It's definitely official. You heard Avery Johnson's thoughts on it, DC. You heard what Avery was saying about the synergy and chemistry of having it. Let's elaborate on that before we get into our initial story, my friend.
I mean, the little general speaks facts, man. I mean, I always liked Avery Johnson. I don't know what happened in Dallas. I guess his message grew stale at a certain point, but everything he says kind of lines up with what we think the brother Willie Green is, man. Seems to be a very likable guy. I've always liked him. I mean, even when he played for the Pelicans, he was a bench guy, but he was a guy on your bench that you actually liked having on the bench. When he moved on, I was like, damn, wish we would have kept Willie Green. He came in and had some big games and stuff off the bench. And everyone from Phoenix seemed to like him. I know, when coaches are generally up for a job, nobody speaks negatively of them. But, man, they were just gushing over this guy. People don't usually speak this positively of just any coach either. So I think that's very high praise he was given by almost everybody that talked about him. Steph Curry even went out his way to praise him. And, it's an amazing thing, man. I think we got the coaching job right. If we would have got Freddie V as well, I think it would have been right. But I think this can work with Willie Green, even with the little micromanager we got in David Griffin. I think everybody finds some type of balance and a way of making this work.
Yeah, interesting, man. Let's get right to this article, DC. And this comes from NBA.com. Willie Green officially named Pelicans head coach. Green joins the Pelicans after 2 seasons as assistant coach for the Phoenix Suns. And, of course, you did a flash report early on for the family members that gave a full breakdown about Willie Green and what he brings with the team. So I'm going to just share a few things here. New Orleans Pelicans have hired Phoenix assistant Willie Green as their new head coach. Green, the former NBA player who turns 30 on July the 28th, is the first time. It's the first time.
40, big brother.
I'm sorry, 30. I'm sorry.
You said 40. You keep trying to peel 10 years off him.
I'm trying to give him back take it all back from him. I apologize.
That's all right.
40 years. It's the first time head coach after serving as an NBA assistant for the past 5 years. First with Golden State, then Phoenix, which he lost to Milwaukee in the NBA Finals on Tuesday. He arrives in New Orleans at a time when the pressure is rising to give young star Zion Williamson faith that he can find a long-term satisfaction with the club that drafted him first overall just 2 years ago. So, as you can see, the quote right here is, quote, Willie has established himself as one of the most respected assistant coaches in the NBA. In large part, this is due to a tireless work ethic and authenticity of character, says the Octopus. And if he brings a vast amount of basketball knowledge and experience, boy, he can really lay it on. Experience to our team as both a coach and former player, along with exceptional leadership qualities and an ability to connect with players, staff, and fans alike. I wonder, DC, that if I was to go back to what was said about SVG when he hired him, how much of that would be very the same? Almost sounds the same.
I think it'd be a little different, but the differences would be so minute that you might not notice.
Trust me, we'll notice. All right, so with that being said, DC, you talked about the bringing Coach Willie Green aboard, man. And we're all really happy about it and him coming here. But yes, indeed, DC, this is not a very easy or gentle situation for a first-time coach. This is a high-pressure situation with the pressure of the faithful upon Willie, saying, man, we got to get this right. We got to get this going. We got to win, and we got to win now. 2 years before Zion's contract is due, and Willie's on the block, man. I like the hire, but they give him a staff. I'm really interested to see what his staff looks like, too. We know Teaspoon and Freddie V's on there. Sam Mitchell is going to be on there. We're interested to see. And that's a pretty good 3 assistant coaches to go. A lot of basketball knowledge there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most exciting part to me. The fact that we're going to put an amazing staff, I believe, around him. regardless of whether David Griffin picking it or not. Some of the names I've been hearing that's going to be on the staff is that's good, man. That's a nice foundational core to have. Obviously, you want an older vet guy, Willie Green being the first-time coach. We got Avery Johnson, obviously hovering around in the background. So I think he might be, officially a part of some of the things going on with the Pelicans, knowing his ties with Sean Payton and how much he's always loved Louisiana, brother being from here and everything. So I think with Sam Mitchell, and then you got Fred Vinson and T Spoon here to kind of keep some consistency and continuity with the team and with the players, basically. And they kind of already know the day-to-day, so Willie Green comes in and can be a leader to add some new things and help bring some consistency, because that's really what we're missing. And then if you get a guy like Sam Mitchell, he can drop a little bit of that old man wisdom in to kind of help guide Willie Green along, or maybe help with the X's and O's and, the concepts. Or, even with Zion, he knows a lot about Zion. Like, he coached him younger, so I'm sure he followed his career all the way up to this point. So he's going to be probably more, educated or informed on Zion than Stan Van Gundy was. And we saw how his career took off with Stan Van Gundy. I think that's a guy, too, that maybe be able to get Zion to play a little bit more defense or look at that end of the floor better, which I really feel Zion is already doing that. He seems to be the type that he takes what he does personally, takes it serious. And I think he's gonna shock a lot of people defensively and as well as offensively by adding another niche to his game coming into the new season, man. So everything's on the up and up. It's almost like we finally kind of roughing out some of the edges. I know there's still got a lot of stuff with players leaving or us not signing and us trying to sign Kyle Lowry and all of this. But what's in-house, we kind of getting things in order. And I think that's a major key moving forward, because basically we got a lot of talent on this team. So the main thing we got to do is not flock it up. So we basically got to give them what they need to grow and flourish and have people here that are willing to adapt and adjust, because that's what we've been missing for the past 2 years. Alvin Gentry, I mean, he couldn't adapt or adjust because he had nothing to adapt or adjust from. There was no real foundation. Stan Van Gundy came here and created a foundation of what he was trying to do, but he was way too rigid. And now I think we got somebody that's willing to grow and kind of. What's wrong with my thing? You say it's foggy. I look foggy. All right, Rude. I'm trying to fix my camera when I get a minute.
What you been doing, DC?
Huh?
What you been doing over there?
I've been talking for like the last 3 minutes.
Prior to you turn that damn camera on, what you was doing?
Oh, I was listening to you talk before I turned the camera on. But anyway,
go ahead, bro. I'm just messing with you.
Anyway, man. Back to what I was saying. Willie Green, I think, is the missing piece. You got a young leader. Guy's gonna bring some fresh energy, coming with a championship experience, at least hanging around championship teams. He's gonna come here with the championship culture. Like, it's gotta rub off. It gotta rub off on you, man. He was with a team that went to the finals 3 times, and then he goes to another team and they go to the finals. So this guy been in the finals like 4 times. So he knows a thing or two about how to get to the finals and win it and lose it. So we're gonna see how this all works out. Now I'm more excited and looking forward to the players and what they're gonna give him or what he's gonna request that they should get. So that's the new thing, man, that we're gonna have to look out for. Damage control in the cut, huh? I see you, J.O. Davis. What's up, Jaleel, brother? I checked out one of your draft prospects too, Jaleel, man. I'm gonna bring him up. That guy was pretty damn good. I'll tell you about that later.
Big ups to the fam, man. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream. Big ups to everybody. Pelicans Nola, Pelican Zone. Big ups to you, Kai the Great 84, Melanin God 504, Brandon Hayes, Brian Pearson, Rudy Verdon, Jaleel Davis, Sergeant King. Them going through the whole damn flock. Rick Sarah, Lion of Calvary, State of the Pelicans, DJ in the building as well. VB Saints, Pales Lady, Taylor Red Wing, the Games, IMG Shy Money in the building as well. Brother Rob McCoy, Brother Kendall Jones Sr., Brother Jerry Poor Jr., G Reed 504, AH in the building, Josh in his bag, Tramal Kellup, Jonathan, Mr. Shav, T as well, Adrian in the building, Shedrick in Mosley is in the building as well, Brother Kenneth Barnes, all the flock members, Latrell Pollard. What's up, Latrell? Go Pels to you as well. And we recognize the flock. What's up, Benny? Benny, big ups to you as well. Greg CTC, Derek Dorsey, King
Right.
Buckets. The whole damn flock is
King
chiming
Buckets.
in.
I like that name.
I put some.
You gotta be able to ball King Buckets. I like that.
I had to put some extra aggression in the announcement. King Buckets. Like Gundam. You got over it. Some ones the spirit just
Mario Davis.
Mario Davis. GM Kev is in the building as well. John Thompson's in the building. What's up, Jay Carv? Let's see, Jay is in the building as well. Tony, what's up, Tony? Big ups to you.
Yo.
Jay Carvalho. I hope I'm saying that right, Jay.
Sure, Carvalho in that thing, man.
Carvalho, 1990. Hopefully I got that right, my brother. Appreciate you as well. What's up, Action Jackson's in the building? What's up, Action Jackson? Big ups to the fam. Much love to the entire flock, man. We're gonna get to you guys' questions as well as we get to this.
And Brandon Hayes.
Big ups to the whole flock, man. Much love to y'all, man. Brandon and the whole bunch. So much love to the flock. Please feel free to hit upon the like button, subscribe. If you didn't hear your name, give me a Go Pels, and I got you, baby. I got you. All right, DC, let's move on to the next one. Now, we knew exactly about the Willie Green signing a little ahead of time. Like we said, he come from an interesting culture tree with Monty Williams. It's funny how it always goes back to that, to a portion of that. And of course, over the last 2 years, 2 former Pelicans are world champions. We're talking about the way Anthony Davis did it with the Lakers and Drew Holiday. So 2 former really big name players for the Pelicans got their hardware somewhere else. So with that being said, man, moving in direction.
But wait, one of them players broke his neck to shout out his organization.
He did indeed.
What props is due, we got to give them to him, man. Shout out to Drew Holiday, world champion, who said the Pelicans did right by him. Unlike salty-ass JJ Redick, who was on Twitter this past week tripping out, talking about, what did he say? He ain't never spoke ill of the Pelicans after he posted up a big old fat tweet, Pelicans eliminated from playoff contention. That dude is a character, bro.
A little sour grapes on this part, but
yeah,
it's much due. But let's take
what more you want them to do, man? The Brooklyn Nets ain't want you, and they sent you to a contender. Well, damn.
Rick's Raw, what's up, fam? Appreciate you chiming in as well. What's up, Moses? Mose Simmons as well. Much love. Go Pels to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Much okay. Close enough. All right. Ken Quantus.
You done butchered that man's name.
Hey, bro, sometimes I get them, bro. Sometimes I don't. I tried like several times, my brother. I ain't want to keep butchering it, bro. But I got you, J. Carr. Big ups to
12 of y'all. That's right. Tell me about it.
Ken Quantus. What's up, fam? Big ups to Ken Quantus in the building. Tell me about it. 504. Kingpin Matthew. What's up, fam? Roy Jenkins, what's up, Roy? Big ups to you. The Kingpin says got some 3-and-D guys in the draft. Trey Murphy, Kessler Edwards, Joe Wieskamp, just to name a few. Hope we get at least one of those guys. Thank you, Kingpin Matthew. Much love to you, fam. And as you see family on the screen, alluding to what DC was talking about with Drew Holiday shouting out the Pelicans after the NBA Finals victory. As well, and of course Drew, man, goes up there and gets him a championship and does it the right way, man. Very
what the hell you talking about, Rudy? Talking about, did you know Rudy's not my real name? No, Rudy. Come on, man, that's classic. You got to keep that name, Rudy. That's your real name in the flock.
Let's move. Let's DC. Let's hit the next article, fam, so we can get to some of the draft news that we were bringing up. How about this article right here for the flock, man? What y'all think about this one right here? This was coming from Yahoo Sports, saying that the Pelicans
Terrified.
are desperate to sign Kyle Lowry, terrified of Zion Williamson's situation. Jacob Rule drops it. It came out Friday, and of course, you can see Kyle Lowry. That's what he do, right? He get used to seeing this face and these gestures because that's what he does. He cries a lot. New Orleans Pelicans appear ready to attempt to make a big splash in
Maybe
free
they're
agency.
trying to get Zion to flop, bro.
According to Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer, the Pelicans are desperate, and he uses the term desperate for free agent point guard Kyle Lowry with fear of Zion Williamson's situation being a motivating factor in their plans. Lowry spent the fight. Now, let me stop right there for a second, DC. What's really, I don't know about this report. I'm going to just be honest with you. We're covering it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where is this from Yahoo?
This is from Yahoo, and what they're doing
They
is
like 50-50, man. Yahoo.
they're getting it, though, from Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer, who's somewhat of an insider. He be having some good information from time to time.
Okay.
So he's saying desperate for free agent. Now, that's not the issue.
Why would they be desperate for Kyle Lowry? Like, I mean, desperate for Malcolm Brogdon seems to make more sense.
Yeah.
Why would they be desperate for Kyle Lowry? I don't think he changes
That much, right?
He don't turn us into a championship contender. Not that he's not good, but Kyle Lowry is. I mean, it ain't like he's 5-6 steps above Lonzo Ball or something. They stats damn near similar. Like I don't get it.
But you'd be terrified of losing Zion Williamson to
You
the
think
point
Kyle
where
Lowry is gonna keep him?
No, I'm listen. I'm saying if Zion told you, they're overthinking this thing. Obviously, David Griffin doesn't listen too well either way. I don't know if Octopus has got ears where they can hear shit right, but he's not listening. Zion Williamson told you what you need to do, bro. Just keep Lonzo Ball. He said he wants him here. If you're terrified of losing Zion, listen to what he told you. He wants Lonzo here. So why are you trying to make a mad dash to Lowry? And Lowry wants to play for a contender that's ready to play now. If this is true, I don't know if this is true.
Change the
but it don't
rules.
make any
They
sense.
want Lonzo back, and they want the rules changed. That's what they want. Lonzo's role changed. I guess if Josh Hart comes back, they want his role changed. Brandon Ingram, I believe, wants to play. Get this, Q. This whole time we talking about Brandon Ingram ball hogging and not passing. You know what Brandon Ingram said in the press conference? He wants to play more off the ball. Go figure.
About right, bro.
And
It's
Stan
about right.
Van Gundy wanted to put the ball in his hands all the time. And he really wanted to play off ball. So I feel bad. A lot of times I came in here and I was talking about BI dribbling and taking shots and stuff, because now it seems like when you think about it, maybe that's what they was telling him to do. Let's play Lonzo off ball and let's BI be kind of the point forward. Yeah, that'll make sense to turn our point guard into a shooting guard. And now we're going to get Kyle Lowry and we're going to get a real point guard, because that guy we had playing shooting guard, he wasn't a real point guard. So, and then we're going to run point Zion. Yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to make Kyle Lowry play off the ball as a point guard, because he would be better in that situation, because he had a 40% three-point shooting one year. That is 2 percentage points better than what Lonzo was. Wait, he was 3.73. Okay, that's a point and 6.6% better than Lonzo was last year.
Which is worth $10 million more than, well, actually $5 million worth. If he gets 2 years, that's at $10 million versus what you'll play Lonzo, who Zion told you he wanted here. Some people just got an uncanny ability to absolutely just screw it all to hell. I just don't understand. It's not hard. They're telling you, hey, we want this guy here, not because he's just a feel-good story, but the guy's productive. He's an ascending player. He works with the young matrix of players that you have. Right. Why would you then throw away the timeline to get an older player? You could have just kept Drew Holiday if that was the case. If you were going to think about doing that, and you could have had Lonzo. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man, how it's all planned, how it plays out. Because that shows me you keep moving from sideline to sideline. You got a new coach. You're trying to get more players to come in here. You just don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing, sir. And big ups to Teal. Let's give Teal the legend.
Happy birthday, Teal. You got to say it right, Q. There you go, dog.
My dog
Happy
T.
birthday, man.
Till in the building. Big ups to my dog Till. Happy 31st to you, my
Falling
brother.
on that weekend, man. So you got to celebrate that thing all weekend.
That's
You know
right,
how it
brother.
goes here.
That's right, brother. Enjoy that, my brother. Big ups and much love to my brother Till, man. Much love to him, man. He's a good brother. All right, and the rest of the family members, Austin and the rest of you family. Thank you, Moles, too, man. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you're here, too.
Appreciate
And you,
you,
sir,
Moles.
are a member of the flock as well, sir. Welcome on in. All right, so big ups to the rest of the fam on this one. Fam, let me finish up this article, then we'll get to some picks that DC was talking about, and then we'll open up the panel there as well. And thank all of the family members for wishing Till a happy birthday, man. Much love.
Till, all you got to do is drop, I think, 138 million, bro, and they going to put that weed ass on the Superdome for you.
Too late, Till. They already got the Caesar Superdome up there, whatever the hell that means, bro. I don't know what they're doing over there. How you gonna put the casino and the Saints together? Anyway, let's
Ain't
move
that
on.
cool, bro? That's like a metaphor. That's like a upside down,
That's like,
a paradox, bro. What
yeah,
you call that?
you got the Saints Superdome, there's the Caesar Superdome. You got gambling over here, you
Wait,
know,
hold up.
and Saints over here.
You got the Saints. Wasn't Jesus Saints? And didn't Jesus say, "Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar"? This is getting confusing. This is getting real confusing, Q.
I don't know if he said that, but it says that in
He said, "Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar."
But I question that because would he put Caesar before the Lord? Because that quote says, "Give Caesar what is Caesar, and the Lord's Lord." He put Caesar above the Lord. Who really wrote that? If he did say that, he would have put God before Caesar. Anyway, let's
bit of
keep
a
going.
Shakespearean mystery, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I heard you, boy. I heard you. There you go. All right, let's move on into it. All right, so it's okay. According to this, Kevin O'Connor, Lowry spent the final year of his contract in Toronto, avoiding being dealt at the trade deadline before missing much of the final weeks of the season with injuries. At 35-year-old, Lowry is one of the most tenured point guards. And this man been in the league for 15 years. He's 35 years old. He couldn't finish last season because he was dealing with injuries. In Toronto, he became the staple of the franchise, helping to shape the culture of the team before winning a ring alongside Kawhi Leonard in 2018-2019. O'Connor noted that the Pelicans are hopeful he can have the same impact on the culture in New Orleans. It's just unbelievably. I'm not going to lend too much to this article because I would have to say that the man has to be absolutely a fool to believe that Kyle Lowry would have so much of an impact on the team when I just in order to make a significant contract offer to Lowry, the Pelicans have to unload likely Adams and Bledsoe with minimal return, as well as depart with Lonzo Ball. The latter of those certain seems most likely, as all indications are the team is set to move on from Ball for whatever reason. Is obviously not about money if they're ready to give Lowry $25 million a season, which is his demand. A sign and trade could be possibility as Pelicans have plenty of assets to sweeten the deal for Toronto. However, all these routes require an interest from Lowry, who will have suitors who are also contenders for titles, something the Pelicans are far from. It's also noteworthy that Williams reported unhappiness could be pushing the team toward bigger moves in the offseason. While he be entering just his third season after two underwhelming years in which they missed the playoffs, each time the clock is ticking on the franchise to appease their superstar. If you want to appease your superstar, the best thing you can do is simply listen to him. He told you that he wanted Lonzo Ball. Why would you then go get Kyle Lowry? That's totally two different people. He told you he wanted Lonzo, whether or not you like Lonzo Ball or not. Zion Williamson, the guy we're fretting to leave the organization in 2 years because we're not winning, told them that they want Lonzo Ball here. Now, if that means anything to anybody and they don't want to see Zion leave, then listen to Zion and get Lonzo and sign him. Obviously, it's not the money, DC. Kyle Lowry's demands are $25 a year. What's Lonzo, 20? And we won't throw all that out because it's just absolutely insane. And I won't give much credence to this article because it falls to the stupidity and blindness and total ignorance, meaning totally ignoring the fact what the man's saying. If you want your star to stay, listen to him. DC, what do you think about this article, man?
I like the way you went off on it and talked about it as if it's true, because I think it's complete bullshit. I don't think it just
Right.
don't make sense, man. I see the thought process, and it almost seems like a great imaginary story, because we got Willie Green, you know what I'm saying? Willie Green had Chris Paul, and
What
that's what
is Kenti
Phoenix
oil?
done did. Kent oil. Okay. Uh Willie Green had Chris Paul, and they went to the finals. So
What did you
the
talking about?
Pelicans are gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It just makes perfect sense. So it just seems like something that's either thrown out there by media guys looking to write something. Lonzo is a hot topic. Ain't nothing like riling his stands
Right,
up,
VB.
and you got a lot of them that are happy
What's up,
about
Mike?
him leaving and want him to leave because they feel like he can start his own team somewhere or something and get better stats. So ain't no telling, man. Maybe they get a lot of views from writing stuff like this, because if you, I mean, really covering something in all honesty, like why even throw Lonzo's name in the title when you talking about Kyle Lowry? Look at the title of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Lonzo Ball don't have nothing to do with it. If they really trying to get Kyle Lowry, shouldn't the title be the Pelicans
What's up,
are
Jabbar?
terrified of Zion leaving for Kyle Lowry, and then they throw Lonzo Ball in there. They ain't even had to throw Zion name in there, to be honest. Like they could just say
C-Step.
the Pelicans are seriously considering Kyle Lowry, whatever. So it just seemed like another article to get views, man. I mean, all of the stuff was coming out today about Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. Guess what? Teaming up. Like I said, if we were gonna get Kyle Lowry, it would make sense to team him up with DeMar DeRozan. Now they got a lot of stuff out there that seems to make more
What's
sense
up,
than
Jamal?
this, with him teaming up with DeMar DeRozan and going to the Lakers.
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan is from Compton, I believe. Kyle Lowry is from Philly, but him and DeMar is real tight. So maybe he's looking to do that. That makes a lot more sense for a 35-year-old to me. But there was also a lot of talk about Chris Paul going to the Lakers, and there was also talk
What's up,
about
Mike?
Dame going to the Lakers. Everybody supposed to go to the goddamn Lakers. So we don't know what's
What's
what.
up, Elliot?
But I would think Kyle Lowry would be a more likely option than a lot of those other guys, because he wouldn't command as much money, in my opinion, as Chris Paul would probably
What's up,
probably
Todd?
would, as well as Dame Lillard. I don't know how they think they can pull that off. So Kyle Lowry, the teams I think he realistically would go to would be the Lakers. I think that's a serious possibility. Miami and Philly. Everybody else, I don't really see it. Could be wrong. Maybe we could be getting Kyle Lowry. I don't think it's something we should do for what we have. I mean, we just need a guy a little bit older. I don't think we not that one guy away where we can get an old guy and push everything like Phoenix did, man. We need to make that step like Phoenix did in the bubble. This is our year to make that step. Maybe get to the first round, second round. I mean, if something special happens and we get some type of chemistry, have a magical season, that would be great. But the Pelicans' concern should be getting to the playoffs. It should be setting yourself up for the future. You got big contract with Zion coming up. You got guys in Jackson Hayes and NAW who you're gonna want to retain. You still got some years of low money on Kyra if he starts to pop at some point. So I don't see how Kyle Lowry fits into all of that. And then you still got the gargantuan roadblock of moving Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe to free up the type of money to get a Kyle Lowry. So, what we gonna do? Some dumb sign and trade where we give away the 10 pick to get Kyle Lowry, which I think would be stupid when he's actually a free agent. So that would make a lot of sense to me. So it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It could be more of posturing. You know, it could be more of Clutch Sports and David Griffin doing media mental gymnastics at one another. Who knows, Big Q?
Yeah, at this point, it is a bit ridiculous. As I've heard several different stories, but some of the stories that we're covering are coming from credible journalists. And just to keep it real with you now, some of them seem a bit far fetched, but we're hearing about some crazy times in the NBA. I mean, in general, not just in the NBA, but right now, man, have you been really paying attention to what's been happening in the sports, the kind of stuff that's been going on? Stuff like, I've never thought that I would see before, but it's actually happening. Now, I mean, I'm a reader and I've read about this stuff and even try to warn people about a lot of stuff that I see going on today. But I've never thought people to be so as gullible as what they are to just walk right into it. But I mean, but anyway, the basketball side of things is very intriguing as well. But I most certainly can't see it as a possibility or an opportunity. Some drinking that, son. Thank you. As for we as an organization to look past a talented player like Lonzo Ball and say, no, we want a 35-year-old or 36, however Lowry is, and talk about, hey man, you go come play point guard for us. No, that don't make any sense to me. So I mean, we're gonna see how it all shakes. We ain't got long to wait to see it anyway. So with that being said,
Hey,
Carl,
get it.
tell him DC
Get,
Carlton said Reddish is worth every bit
get
of
in
it.
line, bro. Get in line. To be honest with you, I
Didn't
think
you send me something? See, DC can't
yeah,
help himself.
man. Yeah,
DC
man.
sent me a link from Guillory talking about Cam Reddish.
Well, Guillory put that out, man. I ain't put that out, bro. I
No,
don't know Will Guillory.
I don't know him either. But all the thing I'm saying is,
Stop lying, Cuda. You know that's your brother. Y'all look just alike.
Guillory does
Stop
not look
lying, bro.
nothing. I look like everybody, DC. You know that? Somebody told me I look like Mark Jackson's brother.
You do.
If I
as
look
well
like
as Will Guillory and as well as Young MC.
they look like me. I do not look like
you are a doppelganger, sir. Yes, you are.
I am not. I do not look like Young MC or Mark Jackson's brother
You do look like Young
or
MC.
Will Guillory. You are making that up.
If I
look
pull
like
up a picture of Young MC, you gonna put it up on the screen so the family can see?
I ain't got no time for your foolishness, DC. I'm trying to do a show here, man. What you talking about?
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture.
Oh, anyway, DC, let's keep it going. Big ups to the fam. Jalil said, I think the fact that we have lots of news surrounding us makes us believe we're working the phones heavy. All right, that's a way to look at it. Thank you, Jalil. All right, Tramal says Mark Jackson brother died. I know, bro. That was Escalade. He was a hell of a player as well.
Yeah, he was.
All right. Kenneth says Tyler Perry. How? Tyler Perry? For real, bro? Come on. Brandon says, Q, I thought you kind of looked like Marcus Spears. Damn, bro. Swagoo. Thank you, son.
Let me tell you one thing about my Cowboys. That's all I know of Marcus Spears. He always talk about them damn Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Brandon. Much love to the fam as well. All right. Variant. Will Guillory, hashtag variant for real, Mike. So we're going to go that Loki way. That's what we're going to do. We're going to act like we Loki now. That's what we're doing, bro. I'm a Will Guillory variant.
Come on,
bro.
Yo.
We can't see your broken phone, DC. We can't see it.
My phone ain't broke. Come on now.
No, put that down. What are you doing?
Take the head off and let him see, bro.
That don't look nothing like me, dog. That don't look a damn thing like me, bro.
Don't make me start singing. Don't make me sing the song too, bro. Now that don't look like you?
Hell no, man.
Man, stop that, man.
Hell no, that don't look like
that,
me.
Man.
Cut that shit out. That don't look nothing like me. King Bucket said, bro, Big Q does look like Guillory. No cap. He didn't realize that to be credit. Bro, that's trickery, bro. Guillory looks like me, man. You hear me? I'm older than that cat.
You look like Will Guillory, bro.
I am older than that cat. That cat looks like me.
You look like Will Guillory, bro.
Big Q, Lower Night Ward, Rick's Raw, bro.
He got a couple of people, bro.
Don't laugh at that, Trey. Don't laugh at that's not funny, bro. But anyway, listen. Say, bro, you can't sing, bro. You're messing the song up, bro. Cut it out.
Well, you do it right. You know what I'm saying, Q, bust a move.
Cut it off, bro. I'm trying to do a show here, bro. You don't hear me saying reggae cuts and all that kind of stuff.
Rudy, you need to delete that tweet, bro.
All right, let's keep it going. Okay, Pelicans don't say the West Bank. All right. D1 in here clowning me. You hear that, Damon? We got D1 in here clowning me. I need to put a damn picture up of him somewhere up in here.
You already did.
Okay,
You hit
King
me with
Bucket said,
the
so it's
D1
not, so it's
picture
not,
already,
so
bro.
it's not Big Q, it's Big Guillory. Okay, gotcha. All right, let's move on. All right, DC, let's get to the portion of the show right now. If you ain't finished, you're clowning. Let's get to the portion of the show, my friend. Well, you get into your draft picks, man. Let's talk about a draft so we can get the flock in.
All
Who you
right,
got first?
let me pull up my guys, man.
Yeah,
For
it's gonna
our
take a
first,
while because you messed around putting that foolishness
I
of
know, right?
Young MC up on there. Now you can't find your draft picks
I had to
now,
take my draft picks
huh? Uh-huh.
down.
Yeah, try to make a joke.
Somebody say I got a 4K TV for a phone. This big old TV, man. You got to move all that
You got
stuff
a big
around.
ass crack across it too. Y'all ain't see that?
Ain't got no crack across my phone, man. Get out of here, man. But for the first guy, man, I just want to point out that y'all probably heard of him. This guy has been projected all the way from 5th all the way down to 11th. It's a possible chance that he could fall to us. And I think the Pels maybe jump on him if he does. And the guy I'm talking about is none other than Jonathan Kuminga. I know a lot of people might not be crazy about him because, they're saying he still needs to work on his three-point shot and kind of, I guess, improve that. But let's go over an article from NBA.com talking about him, giving a scouting report, talking about his strengths and weaknesses and his comparisons to other players. Jackson Hayes' sister, really, dog?
Jackson DC looks like Jackson Hayes' sister. Good grief.
That is a different one. I don't know what that one. But anyway, the 2011 draft, Jonathan Kuminga, scouting report, strengths and weaknesses, and player comparisons. We're going to go over it, family. Jonathan Kuminga just might be the best defender in the NBA 2021 draft class. But what are some of the aspects of his game that have been projected as a top 5 pick? Jonathan Kuminga is a name you're going to want to familiarize yourself with heading into the 2021 NBA draft. The G League Ignite star was once the number 1 ranked prospect on ESPN's Top 100 class of 2021 before he elected to reclassify for the class of 2020. Okay, so I guess that was in high school. Even after his reclassification, Kuminga was still the number 4 ranked prospect in the class of 2020 with offers from top schools in the country. For going to NCAA eligibility, Kuminga chose the G League route instead, he had promised to showing in the first professional season in the NBA G League bubble. The 6'8", 220-pound forward, big brother, averaged 15.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1 steal, and 0.8 blocks per game, getting the job done on both ends of the floor. And he's doing all this as being 19 years old. They're projecting him to be a franchise selling stupid superstar. Not a superstar, but a superstar. Yeah, I like the video, Q. Keep it rolling. His strengths is he's a versatile defender. As they said, he's 6'8", 220 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. He has an NBA-ready body, the perfect fit and mold of today's play style with the tools to truly defend 1 through 4, potentially even 5s down the line. The combination of size, strength, quickness, athleticism gives him the ability to completely take guards out of their game while also being able to bang bodies in the paint and play physical against bigs. To compete with that package, he's also an above average rebounder for his size with a nose for the ball, even up against much bigger players. Offensively, there's still plenty of room for development, but we already begin to see Kuminga take encouraging steps in the bubble. He's a capable finisher when attacking the basket, and his improving handle shows he could eventually become a scoring threat at the next level. He's very much still raw as a playmaker, especially when creating his own jump shot off the bounce. But as he becomes more comfortable as a ball handler and more confident in his jump shot, the rest of his offense should follow suit, posting nearly 16 points a game with a skill set that needs to be polished. Kuminga is just scratching the surface of his potential as a scorer. All right, so that's all good. So let's talk about some of the bad, some of the weaknesses that the brother got. Okay. So also defense is his biggest strength. His effort and energy will determine just how elite he becomes on that end of the floor. He has all the physical tools to be a lockdown defender, but he isn't always locked in. Offensively, Kuminga has a tendency to get tunnel vision. Putting his head down and forcing the shot is out of the flow of the offense. He can make simple passes, but he is much more likely to look for his own shot than setting up open teammates. He needs to develop a more consistent jump shot, shooting 38.7% from the field, 24% from three in the bubble. There are plenty of areas of Kuminga game that needs refining, and the team selects him with the need to be patient and, I guess, wait for his potential because it's certainly there. So he's projected 1 through 5. Shades of Jaylen Brown is who they compare him to. OG Anunoby, and none other than Alfred Aminu, who's a guy that we got from the Clippers in the trade for Chris Paul. Actually was a pretty good defender for us and a bunch of other teams, ironically. So that'll be my first guy, Jonathan Kuminga. I like him. Obviously, I don't think the way he is right now feels that need of us having a shooter, but he could be like one of those guys I talked about, us needing a 3-and-D guy or a guy that's mad versatile. Brother can go at 1 through 4. He can be a little bit like Jeremy Grant. He can also possibly guard fives. They say he's real strong. I mean, he's 19, man. It's crazy. And it's a possibility that he could slide. If James Bouknight, Moses Moody, or one of those guys jump spots, it's a possibility that that guy could fall to us. There's some drafts that are projecting him to fall to the Pelicans. And if they drafted him, I wouldn't be mad, but I know we need to go get a shooter in free agency or trade or what have you. We got to find a shooter somewhere if we draft a guy like that. But this is a guy that, like, you taking money to the bank, in my opinion, later, especially with the players that we have. His skill set will fall right in later on down the line. But I know everybody probably wants a shooter, and they're dead set on that. But I feel like we got 3 prototypes that we need to get, and he can fill one of those. We need a 3-and-D guy with mad versatility. And being honest with you, you can never go wrong with just getting a bunch of versatile guys. Because with Fred, I think his shot will definitely improve. I mean, there's some of the same knocks on Najee Marshall, and I think Najee Marshall did just fine for what we needed him to do. So him coming in here, I think he can improve his shot easily. I don't think it'll be, over the course of a month or two, but I think he definitely could be that 3-and-D guy we would be looking for, and possibly even more, because this guy could possibly have superstar potential, in my opinion. So shout out to Kuminga, man. Maybe we get him, maybe we don't. Who knows? But let's move on to somebody else. I also like. I got a shout out to Jaleel Davis again, because this guy, I just was looking through people and I actually came across him, just looking at guys to see what I was going to talk to y'all about. And I realized that a video I watched was Chris Dart, and Jaleel Davis actually mentioned that name to me, and I told him I was going to look up his players, man, and I ran across this guy. Forgetting to look up your players, but I actually did look up one of your players, and I'm glad I did, because this brother's amazing. So I'm gonna read another article from NBA.com to go over what he does, who he is, his game, and I think y'all will be a lot more happy about him. His negative, I'll go ahead and give it to you right now, because I'm gonna read this article, but he don't have a lot of weaknesses to me, other than this brother is 24 years old. Yeah, that's right. 24 years old. So we have a 24-year-old rookie, and then you have him with Brandon Ingram, who's like a 6-year vet, and they like the same age. That's crazy. But anyway, here's a little bit about him. Chris Dart is an athletic, talented perimeter scorer who ranked among the most efficient offensive players in college basketball as a senior at Oregon. A consensus top 200 prospect in college, high school class of 2017, out of Redemption Christian Academy in New York. Dart spent his first 2 seasons at the junior college next level at the junior college level, at Northwestern Florida State, where he was named the NJCAA Player of the Year in 2019, emerging as an X factor for head coach Dana Armand's Ducks. He averaged 12.9 points per game 2 years ago as a junior, his first year at Division I level, as well as he played for stretches this year. The 23-year-old showed major growth as a senior, averaging 17.1 points, 4.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists per game, led the Ducks to the Sweet 16. That's pretty impressive. Possessing a solid frame for a guard listed at 6'6", with a lean 190-pound frame, Dart is a very good athlete with a little bit of toughness to his game. Spending time playing on and off the ball in a feature role for the Ducks, Dart showed intriguing versatility as a perimeter shot maker, creating his own shot efficiently out of ball screens and one-on-ones, providing very reliable spacing to the floor, and taking the ball strong to the rim as a finisher. Dart showed significant growth as a scorer last season and did a better job making decisions with the ball than he did as an underclassman. As an active defender with good instincts in the passing lanes and decent lateral quickness, Dart emerged as a playmaker for the Oregon team that played a mixture of man and zone defenses. He was a second late closing out in spots, but made an effort to get in a good stance and move on his feet to the perimeter. A terrific all-around shot maker, Dart did much of his damage off dribble last season, making shots at a strong rate out of ball screens and isolations, but also knocked down catch and shoot jumpers, spotting up and running off screens with great consistency, picking and choosing his spots as well. The maturity was apparent last season. Shooting the ball as an exceptionally high-level scorer last season. Overall, Dart averaged a stellar 1.39 points per catch-and-shoot jump shot in the half court. That's the 95th percentile. On somewhat limited attempts, and an equally impressive 1.12 points per dribble jump shot in the half court. That's the 94th percentile. Showing the ability to stop and pop with range, step back into deep jumpers, and even take what defenders gave him in the mid-range. Dart ranked amongst the most efficient jump shooters in college basketball last season, despite how many of his attempts came off the dribble or on the move. Using the threat of his jumping to attack the rim with long strides and solid footwork, Dart scored 1.28 points per finishing opportunity in the half court. That puts him in the 75th percentile, as he was very optimistic as a slasher, finishing empathetically with a head of steam and doing a better job finding an open man when he cut off the inside. Dart's maturation process as a decision maker played a role in his efficiency as well, doing some of his best work in transition scoring, 1.49 points per transition possession, 92nd percentile. Dart's work in the passing lanes contributed to his efficiency in the open floor. Now, it's a little excerpt about his defense because we ain't hear none of that. Obviously, amazing score. But defensive analysis, he's coming up with a lot of steals this season. Dart was aggressive in the passing lanes. He did a better job coming up with deflections than he did affecting shooters on closeouts. But players with solid activity, he played with solid activity level overall on the defensive end. Possessing a nice length and quickness for a guard, Dart allowed 0.81 points per isolation possession, 39th percentile, doing a pretty good job containing the ball despite giving up quickness in some matchups. So there you have it. Chris Dart, guy from the Dominican Republic, amazing scorer, amazing shooter, man. This was one of the most, I guess, impressive guys I've seen in the draft so far, just skill-wise. He's very skilled and mature in his game, man. I like watching him. And to be honest, if this guy was 19 or 20, he would most certainly, in my opinion, be a certified top 5 pick. Very impressive player. His defense, it was okay. I heard a lot of, good stuff about it. I thought his defense was a little overrated, but he does get steals and he's very savvy. He just seems to be an overall smart player If we wound up drafting him, I think 10 would be a little high. But if we drafted him at 10, I wouldn't care about none of that. We got a guy that could come in right now and contribute, in my opinion. Wherever he goes, whether the Pelicans get him or not, y'all remember that name, because I think this brother will contribute from day one, and he'll probably average at least, I think, 8 to 10 points, even if he's coming off the bench. He's a guy that'll hunt his shot, make smart plays, man. Just smooth element to his game. Play on and off the ball. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Malcolm Brogdon. The Q put him up there. And also, he has reminds me a little bit of Klay Thompson ishness to his game. Not the defense capability, but just the way he plays offense. Not saying he's going to score that many damn points like Klay was, but hey, who was Klay before we knew who Klay was? You know what I'm saying? Could have been Chris Dart. Who knows, man? So this is a excellent pick. Can't wait to see who the Pels pick. Hopefully we make the right picks. But we here to give them some people that they could pick. And some of the people I covered that they probably shouldn't pick. But anyway, Chris Dart, Jonathan Kuminga, two of the best draft picks that I found that we ain't talk about yet. So there you have it, family.
I appreciate DC dropping some science on a couple of his draft selections. Of course, the draft is coming up on the 29th of this month. Next week, Thursday, I want to say. If my calendar is correct, I want to make sure.
Todd, I don't think he's gonna fall to the second round. I can tell you that now.
Make sure that's
the
right.
The Lakers are drafting him. I think the Warriors are drafting him. Who's at 16? The Knicks. Seriously, there's a lot of people excited about Chris Dart, man. He's not going to the second round.
Yeah, I'm some intriguing picks. I was looking up some of the highlights on Chris Dart out of Oregon, and then of course a couple other prospects. I was going over Kispert again. And Kispert was also trying to show him that he could play
He's
defense.
Impressive, man. Kispert is impressive, man.
He got nice speed to him, not super overall fast, but he's trying to show people that he's just not a shooter, that he can also play defense. So
you know what I like about him more than anything that nobody talks about? Kispert is he's a very smart player, man. Like, as much as I watched him, I didn't see him making a lot of mistakes. You know, I seen him taking shots that he was supposed to take, even though he hunted his shot. When he wasn't supposed to take it, he passed it. I seen him have people very frustrated with his movement without the ball. And he, no matter what defense they played, bro, he would find a spot in the defense and sit there and get an open shot. Like, Kispert is, I think, a good player. But just like Dart, I think even if we draft him at 10, I think it's a little bit of a reach. I just think they got guys with way more upside at 10 that we could potentially get. But you know how we feel, bro. We talk about this all the time. You don't want to draft. You want to draft for need, but you don't want to draft for need. Hopefully the best player that's available fits your need. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You want to take the guy that with the most talent and potential, because so many times I think the Pelicans have drafted for need, and, you know, bit us in the ass, quite frankly. Could have had Jamal Murray, you know what I'm saying? And a plethora of other players that we passed up. A lot of people could have had Donovan Mitchell, passed him up, you know, drafting for a need and all that, man. So you don't want to get locked into that, in my opinion, and you pass up a guy that could be really, really special. I mean, how many people passed on Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard was amazing in college. He needed a little work offensively. And Jonathan Kuminga, you know, this guy, he reminds me kind of, not saying he gonna be Kawhi, but I'm saying it's a guy with tremendous potential, and if you put him in the right situation, he could flourish very quickly.
All right, big ups to the flock. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. What's up, Todd? C-Step 100 as well, joining us. Jamon and the rest of the family members, Brother Elliot. Cordell, what's happening, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love to you and Yearn. Please feel free to hit upon the like button. It helps the stream out. Over 100 of us in here. Please, if you hadn't had to hit the like button, hit the like button. If you aren't a subscriber, hit the hell out the subscribe button. We're about to get ready to open up the panel. The link is posted in the top of the chat for the family members who want to chime in on tonight's panel. We'll be going up to about 12:30. So if you want to get up in there, hit that damn link right now and let's get it on. with the thoughts and with your concerns about the Pelicans heading into this thing. And Rudy's asking, did you look up any of my draft picks?
I did look up Charles Bessie Rudy, and the more I look at him, the more I like him. But the projections on him aren't that high. So I mean, it is somebody we could possibly get. I think he could fill that need of a guy I was talking about having a stretch 4/center.
Mm-hmm.
His stretch potential, still in the makings, but I liked a lot what I seen from him, man. I didn't find a lot of tape with like top level competition. That's
What's up,
what I
Elite?
wanted to see with him.
Carlton.
But Charles Bessie is definitely not a bad pick, bro. So I did take some time out and check him out.
All right, good. Appreciate you asking that because Rudy wanted to know. Rudy said, hold on, you looking up Jalil's picks. I gave you a bunch of people. Look them up too, DC.
Man, I'm not a draft and scout per se. I'm gonna look up some people, and the people that I feel that jump off the tape to me. That's what I look for. I look for somebody when I watch them. I don't care how many people tell me they good or say this. If I see something that jumps out to me, that's a guy I'm gonna bring here.
What's up, Kenneth? Kenneth says, do you think these guys, do you guys think another vet coach would be added to the staff besides Sam Mitchell?
Yeah,
of course, we got Freddie V. Freddie V is a part of that. Teresa Witherspoon's a part of that. Sam Mitchell is a part of that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to add some more talented vets along to help Willie out in his first tenure. That's what I'm saying. He has the thing, his personality. I think one of his biggest gifts that I was researching is his ability to bring people together and then to communicate to said people. So that'll be tested in epic proportion levels down here in the city. I promise you that much, because there's a lot of mixed visions in here. And then, of course, he has to be able to keep the attention of the team, his coaches, and then he got the octopus circulating around, trying to tap him on the shoulder, make sure you put that guy in there. Make sure you cut that down. So that's a part of it, too. We just hope that the guy just stay the hell out of the way, and let the man do his damn job. So thank you, Kenneth, for your question as well. All right. Carlton said, DC, don't get hurt around here.
get hurt by who?
What's up, Anthony? Big ups, Anthony. Big ups to you. All right, so let's open up the chat. Remember, family, just to let the family members know, appreciate y'all for being up in this thing. The way to get on, the show, the link is at the top of the chat. You hit that link and you can pop up on here, and we'll start the panel. We got Coach Rudy already in there. We got Brother James in there already, and we got State of the Pelicans DJ in the building. If you want to join the rest of the panel, feel free to pop in, man. I get you guys. Like I said, we're going up to 12:30 tonight, so no 5 or 6 hour stream tonight. Sorry to say. So with that being said, goodbye, Rudy. There you go.
No smoke, no smoke.
All right. So with that being said, let's get on in. We're gonna bring him on here. Coach Rudy's in the building.
There you go,
Brother
man.
James in the building. And State of the Pelicans is in the building. What's up? What's going on, DJ? Brother James and Coach Rudy. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the stream.
Yo, what's going on?
I hope you're doing great.
What's up, people?
Hey, yo, DC.
What's up, DJ?
Hey, well, DC and BQ, well, both of y'all can look them up. Hey, I'm going to throw out a name.
We going to catch
it.
Especially DC
we going to catch it.
DC going to catch it and run away with it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
He's going to sail because he's part of the Caribbean, so.
The name is Mitchell Bullock. If y'all want like a
all right, I'll check him out.
He's 6'5" guard out of Crimson.
Mitchell Bullock.
That ball shooting from the logo, like Damon Lillard stuff in Curry range.
All right.
Mitchell Bullock.
I'll make sure to write him down. Mitchell Bullock, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he looked.
How's his last name?
He looked like his game looked a little similar to Austin Reeves, the boy from Oklahoma, a little bit.
Actually, before we continue, DC, I gotta let you know something. I lost my bet.
Which one was that, bro?
Where if the Bucks win, I had to go clean shaven.
So that's why you got the thumbnail up there?
Yeah, I actually want to show you what I look like.
Oh,
Be cute. Shh, be cute. Be quiet, please. Because you already seen it. But
let's
yeah,
see
here
it,
you go.
Rudy. Let's see it, Rudy.
All right.
He's back.
Coach Rudy Jackson from Smooth Criminals, y'all.
Yeah, you know who Coach Wood look like, bro? He look like that the Godfather, one of the characters off the Godfather on a video
Like
game.
Al Capone.
I was told of Al Capone's illegitimate son.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for family.
DC.
All right, DC.
That was actually pretty good. For a member of the Shotters. That was actually pretty good from a member of the Shotters. Go ahead, Rudy.
I was saying is, you gotta be careful, DC, or I might give you an offer you can't refuse.
You stay here with me to be your friend.
Someday I may call upon you to do a favor for you. Till this day, please accept this as a gift.
Anything you say, good brother.
Occasion Al Capone.
Occasion Al Capone. That's pretty funny.
Go ahead and throw that in there.
Hey, Jeremy, what you seen Kenner last week with your pops?
Oh yeah, I was telling Big Q and the rest. I was looking at an old school antique car, like like the ones in the movies.
The gangster cars.
I'm talking about. Actually, I think it was like an old school antique limo. That Joker had about eight seats in that thing.
That's all right.
If I remember correctly. Yeah.
What you talking about? Like from how antique we going, bro? Because we in 2021 now.
Like the ones you seen on the those gangster old school movies, like in the 40s and the 50s, and they even had I think they had something like that on Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy.
That's pretty. That's impressive.
Jerry,
I ain't seen one of them in a minute, man.
Jerry and Big Q, little heads up. There was one gangster you forgot to mention. Floyd Banner.
Lloyd Banner.
Oh, okay.
See Floyd Banner.
Lloyd Banner.
That's David Banner, brother.
I ain't no blues brother now. Careful, DC. You might be sailing.
Yeah. I know
what happened.
I never heard of him.
Careful now. You don't tell the line. You're gonna be sailing. You end up
Rudy,
with the fishes.
Rudy, I'm glad.
When you talk to a midman,
I'm glad
as
you
myself,
that,
be careful with your tongue before it goes missing.
You gotta be careful, otherwise you'll be sleeping with the fishes.
I tried.
DC do the top shots.
I can't outdo Rudy, man. He got the uniform.
DC do the shotters.
Do the who?
Shotters.
Now,
shotters.
DC.
The shotters.
You know what shotters is?
He know what the hell shotters is. He invented the movie.
You talking about do the shadows?
Do the shotters. You know what the shotters is?
Shotters.
You know what shotters is?
Yeah, shadows.
Shotters, top shotters. You know what they are. You wrote the movie.
Everybody know the damn shadow is, Q.
I hear you, DC.
Hey, Big Q.
Hold up. James?
We
you
got
see him, James? DC wrote the damn movie. He don't know what it is, though.
He don't want to admit to it.
We got freaking Beanie in the chat again trolling, saying I look like Ozzy Osbourne with a Michael Jackson hat on.
All right, family. Let's get to some basketball.
I'm about to say we off the trail now, bro. Like,
we training got derailed.
Go ahead, James.
Fellas, I'm sorry, man, but I can't stop. Looking at Coach Rudy styling and profiling, man. He out beat us tonight, man.
The zoot suit.
Rudy with the zoots.
Man, wait, what movie that was from, man? They talking about what the
What's
zoot
up,
suit.
T?
That was Malcolm X.
Hey, bro, that's old school, man.
Yeah, man, you got a Jamaican voice.
Get us back on track, brother James.
Look, I don't know if I can.
In the chat, man.
Call me now, man. I'm sorry. I'm messing up. My bad. Look, you got me into it. I'm sorry. Big Q, you lost all 100 people in the follow in the chat now. They said like, man, we here to talk basketball. They over there talking about shotters and
Italian trying to get me to do Jamaican accents, man. They just gonna throw more fuel on the fire, man. To get the basketball.
Look,
DC said y'all gotta stop capping on me. I'm trying to get this.
I know everybody having a good time.
Oh, I know you was gonna stir up some mess. I couldn't do the young MC picture. Not expect you to stir up some mess.
I ain't stir up nothing.
At Mr. Clean over here,
man.
bro.
You the orchestrator. We all know this.
I'm on a mission from God.
Say Rudy, one of the Blues Brothers.
That's the black hat.
Y'all crazy.
You know, maybe I should keep this look. Maybe I should keep this look from now on. What do you think?
Look, you talk about one of the Blues Brothers. Like Rudy looked like one. Remember the top gangster that was on Harlem Nights, the one that was trying to run him out of business.
Yeah.
Or I look at the dude who set up Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in Life.
Nah, you don't look like him.
You don't want that.
You don't look like Scarface. You don't look like him.
But speaking of that, I got a question for y'all.
You're going to take the fall.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Wrong character, Rudy.
I know. I'm saying. I thought it was funny because I like that character.
Hey.
You all right?
This is the basketball channel. Let's keep it basketball channel, bro.
No. You gotta have fun. Even if you have sports channel, you gotta have some fun and get off topic a lot. Trust me.
All right, let's hit it.
DJ got a point though. What y'all think about the coach, man? What's y'all thoughts on Willie Green?
I say this about Willie Green, bro. Like I don't think I've ever seen.
I love it.
I don't think I've ever seen a more positive reaction to a head coach hire in a long time. Like what?
Cantone.
That's what.
Cantone.
It's all in my hair, slick back. I do look like a young John Goodman, though.
So Big Q, we were doing good, bro. We were doing good.
I couldn't already put it in my head. Go ahead, James. My bad.
No, you good. You good. Nah, I don't think I've seen a more positive reaction from a head coaching hire. Like I saw a couple of people that was like, "Who the hell is that?" But like, obviously, you don't know basketball if you didn't know who Willie Green was. So I'm not really too concerned with what you thought. But other than that, like, I do. Other than the reaction, other than the reaction of the hiring, I honestly think, man, we ended up with the best possible scenario. Honestly, like,
yeah.
You know, I know people had the news come out not too long ago with the whole Jacques Vaughn stuff about how, you know, he kind of turned it down because of, you know, as Big Q say, Octopus wanted his hands in a lot of stuff. But at the same time, are you really upset that Jacques Vaughn decided to pull his hat out of the like? Nah, not really. Like, I mean, so I'm not too hurt by that if he said because basically I understand like he wanted to get hired Jacques Vaughn and then Charles Lee be the assistant, and I'm like, shit, if he was able to pull that off, I would have been mad. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But you know, Willie Green, I think he gonna come in with, you know, a lot of stuff that we was missing, right? Like he's gonna be the in between of Alvin and shit, I can't think his name now. He's so far gone out of my mind. But Stan Van Gundy, I'm sorry, he the in between the two, where, you know, they say he gonna be the ultimate prepared person. You heard that from Chris Paul, and how he understands, he's real smart and be as prepared as possible. And as much as people, you know, doo-doo on Stan Van Gundy, one of his key attributes was the fact that he was very he was very detailed. And so that's one thing that I like, that they said the same thing about Willie Green. And at the same time, he could keep them accountable without shitting on them in the media, right? Like he could sit there and keep them accountable and make sure they do what they do. So I'm hella excited about it. And I think, I know a lot of people was upset that we took a while to finally make it official, but I'd rather for them to have took their time and got it right than to try to rush some shit just to appease some people that ain't going to be paying the checks anyway.
I agree.
All right. Good analysis. What you say, Rudy? What you think about the Pelicans?
I agree. Like I'm glad that when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, someone's got to eventually back off. And Jacques did the perfect thing, but you know what? This situation's too hot for me to handle. Let me back off.
You just said today.
Oh no!
Bad credit, no credit, no problem. Let him have it.
I ain't never seen that before. That's.
But
man, where you was at on Saturday night in the '90s, bro? Where you was at?
But I do like the hire of Willie Green. He's been there. He actually had the like y'all said, he has a championship mindset, and he's gonna do what it needs to take to get us to the promised land. And no ifs, ands, or buts. He's gonna make sure we hit the ground running and we don't look back. And I'm pretty sure. And now, if I could say, if put someone on the staff, I hope Freddie B gets bumped up to head assistant coach, or whatever it is, like basically that works right beside Willie Green. That's gonna be a pretty dangerous combo, I believe. But yeah, I'm actually excited for this year. Hopefully, we get the deal with Lonzo Ball done and don't get Cam Reddish. In the 10th pick, and we'll be just fine.
Well, hey, Rudy, leave the Cam Reddish alone, bro. Leave the Cam Reddish alone. You gonna stop jumping on? You gonna stop jumping on my man DC, bro? That's what you gonna stop doing, okay? And stop jumping on my man DC. Leave the Cam Reddish alone, bro. But look though.
I will if Damage Control DC leaves him alone.
I ain't brought Cam Reddish up tonight at all until y'all did.
Well, because you're a magnet for him, okay? You're his magnet, so.
But look though,
I don't know about that, but
on the strong side, yo, I got 3 things to notify y'all. I got 17 subs on my YouTube channel. My latest video, I got 81 views on it. And the thing with Willie Green, I'm very excited that I'm to the point where I agree with the other guy. He was a former player for us. He got 2 rings with the Golden State Warriors. He was almost about to win another one with the Phoenix Suns, and I'm very excited. Now I hope that if he is the head coach, I hope that he brings Freddie Vincent as an assistant or Teresa Weatherspoon as an assistant. And they co-host that whole little thing. Now the thing is, with that being said, how is the lineup going to be? No, cancel that. Here's my thing. If technically the only 2 guards that we got on this team is Kyra Lewis Jr. and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Not really. Lonzo and Bledsoe still on the.
Yeah.
Lonzo and Josh Hart, they in the same boat, and we're still trying to get rid of Eric Bledsoe.
We should have been rid of him years ago.
Yeah, that too. But anyway, are we getting? Well, it depends on what you're trying to get for Eric Bledsoe. Whatever trade that deals with him, you still got to deal with them people as well. What guards are, because the guy I gave you, I don't know if DC, I saw him look on his phone, but the guy I gave y'all, he's a good shooter. He shooting from the damn near logo. Now I think he's a potential second round, no later than the like the 40 picks.
Congratulations. Come on.
So
he is DJ. Like they got a guy named Austin Rivers that the Pelicans have been working out, and when I looked at your guy, that's what I was telling you. He reminds me a little bit of Austin Rivers. Like a shooter, scorer, non-athletic guy. And I think if they did go for a guy like that in the second round, they probably would go for Austin Rivers. They worked him out, and they actually had, I think, one of the Pelicans media guys did an interview with him and everything. It looks like a similar guy though. But you're right, dude got the J. His release was his release seemed a little slow to me. Like from when I looked at it, maybe I don't know if I saw some old video, maybe that advanced, but he could shoot. But what else he could do, brother?
Oh,
I mean, DC. I mean, he's six. I'm gonna tell you this. He's way better than Josh Hart, and Josh Hart damn near 6'5". And if I know if he's shooting like that,
He better than Josh Hart shooting. You saying?
yeah, as far as shooting, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that's all I got.
That sounds about right.
All right, fam. We got Brother Jalil just joined the panel. Brother Jalil, welcome to the panel, my friend.
Welcome.
What's up, brother?
What up, y'all?
What's good with you, bro?
Chilling, man.
What you think about Willie, bro, and what we've been talking about tonight, Brother Jalil?
Willie, I think it's like a B- kind of hire. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a safe approach because of the culture that we're trying to set within the franchise. I think Teresa Witherspoon and Freddie Vincent are like the foundation of the culture. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And SVG kind of messed that up or whatever. But I think if Willie can align with those two, I think we can fly. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
However, we need the right player personnel. And I'm not sure if Big Q has faith in Octopus Man. But if we can get like a dead floor general, you know what I'm saying? A floor general that can command the floor, that can calm us down, that vet, you know what I'm saying? If it's a PG, cool. If we got to sign and trade Lonzo for like Malcolm Brogdon or something along like that, cool. But we have the pieces to be extremely competitive. It's just we need, you know what I'm saying, that core foundation. Because I think with Willie, I think the front office and the coaches are now in like alignment. You know what I'm saying? So, it just depends on that player personnel. Same old.
Yeah, it really does.
I will say this though, is that ultimately it really didn't. Well, it mattered who the coach was going to be, but it was going to matter more about what was going to happen, and as far as the roster management, like how they were going to put the roster together. I think the one thing is because of all the news, and I think, Jalil, you said this earlier. I think this was you in the chat, was saying all this noise think that the Pelicans on the phone's heavy, and that's just been what I've been thinking of too. Is like the only reason why we hearing a lot of shit is because they've been making calls, and not saying that this is necessarily like this is the path that they're trying to go. Like, yeah, we're going to go after Kyle Lowry. This is our vision. It's more of we calling everybody. Like, and then I think it's just getting back to these reporters saying, "Hey, they called about Spencer Dinwiddie. They call like they doing their due diligence. It's like, okay, how much is probably gonna cost to get this person? How much gonna cost this? They probably also help them figure out whether or not they're gonna bring Lonzo back if they can go get someone. You know, if they do have to sign and trade him, they have a backup plan if somebody offer him too much money. So this is why I'm actually a lot more excited than I have been in any other year when it came to the Pelicans, because every year we've gone into it, it's like, well, hopefully we improve. Maybe they'll make a move. This year, there's no doubt they making a move. It's just what that move gonna be and what it's gonna look like.
You right, James, man. That's
he is.
powerful because I'm excited too, and I believe everybody else in the flock is, man. It almost is reminiscent of when we finally seen the Saints turning the corner. You know, we always gonna tie these franchises together, but that year that Drew came here, man.
Sean Andrew.
Sean Andrew, yeah, new coach. And then we got the quarterback, but that was the leg to drop that got you really excited. When Sean Payton came, we was like, oh, new head coach. Okay, this guy looked like he might be. Everybody, like, let's see how it goes. Kind of similar to the Willie thing. Now, depending on what we can pull off in free agency via trade or whatever, that could be the other shoe to drop, man, and could really start something special. They got Willie in the building now, so like Jalil was saying, we gotta put the guys around because we know the roster that we have. We got talented guys, but it's a little bit of an awkward fit for these guys. They don't mesh, or at least the way we were trying to use them doesn't mesh. So the guy in the picture, Steven Adams, too, man. They got him out there shooting buckets now. He's shooting threes. I don't know how serious that is, but he attempting them. So that's something too. Maybe that's something to say. Maybe he don't want to be traded. Maybe he wants to be here and he's trying to improve his game. Who knows? Maybe he's been working out with Freddie V. But still, we got to get somebody, and it's obvious that the Pelicans are going to do that. Even if we keep Lonzo Ball, someone new will come here that will make a significant impact. I like NAW. I'm not sure if they're sold on him being a starter. I know what that article said, but we could very well still be looking for a shooting guard. We could draft a shooting guard that maybe they feel is better than NAW, or vice versa. Maybe NAW starts and we draft a shooting guard to be the sixth man. There's so many possibilities, so many different things the Pelicans can do. It would be even more excitement if we didn't have the contract of Eric Bledsoe. I'm okay with Steven Adams, but if we didn't have the contract of Eric Bledsoe, could you imagine that $18 million plus what we already have? And we got the MLE too. So the Pelicans are in a position to make changes and to be able to improve the roster while at the same time keeping the talent that we know makes this roster special. So this is a make or break season, man. So far, I think they've been making the right moves as best as you could expect them to make the right moves with the front office that we have. They're still, I guess, trying to figure things out, learning and growing, and this whole process that they had. David Griffin talked about this timeline being longer and well, Zion ain't having this shit, so he got to speed it up now. And it's a little different. I don't think they're panicking, but I think, like you said, James, maybe they are just pursuing every single option, man, and sitting down as a think tank, as we are for them. Maybe, hopefully, they listen to some of these shows, and peel off some of these ideas that a lot of you guys have and we have, and can see the vision, man, because it's right there. This is a talented team. It's not like they need a lot done, man. 2 or 3 guys could change this whole thing, man, and propel the Pelicans into a top 5 team in the West if they get the right guys.
They're right there, bro.
Right.
I agree. I mean, they're right there, man. Get the right coach in there and get a few pieces here that you don't need to tear the whole thing down, man. A few pieces here there, you know who you got to move. Bledsoe got to go.
Adams got to go.
Put that on the show. He got to. Adams got to go too with the contract because you're trying to make some moves. But at the end of the day,
didn't we get him from the Grizzlies?
No, we got Adams from OKC.
Okay.
I think I'm a little biased with Adams, man. I understand that he has to go, but at the same time, if we kept him, I wouldn't be.
All right, DC, we'll keep him to the half of the season.
I will say one real quick thing though. Like, a lot of people been freaking out about the whole David Griffin want Kyle Lewis and all stuff start. The reason why I say that's bullshit is because you can't have on one end that they gonna go after Kyle Lowry and all these other guards, and then at the same time say he want to start fucking Nall and Kyle Lewis. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't. There's no way in hell he going after all them, and then at the same time, what you gonna do? Spend $30 million? Say, hey, you gonna be on the bench, but we gonna have Kyle Lewis start. Like, come on, bro.
That's right.
Stop
that's
that.
Right. That's
I'm glad you caught on to the BS.
Let me ask you all this, family. Could that possibly have been just the question that he asked the man? That he, listen, if I wanted you to start this to test the man's response, the coach's potential coach's response to the question?
I do. I truly do, because I think it's more of like, because as much as we shit on David Griffin for having his hand a lot of stuff, let's not act like that wasn't a right decision for him to tell Stan Van Gundy, all right, bro, stop fucking starting Eric Bledsoe and putting all in. Like that wasn't like that was a terrible idea.
Well, James,
Like,
he had to get involved though. James, Stan Van Gundy was his pick, so I guess he would have to try to rectify it if he felt it was going bad. I mean, that was like 3 strikes you out. I mean,
Yeah.
He fired Gentry. That was on his watch. He should have fired Gentry before he came here. So that's
Right.
that's on him. Then Stan Van Gundy was him, and that's 1-2, and you're on your final strike just that fast doing that. So I mean, I can see why the octopus was operating frantically because he understood that he didn't have too many bullets.
Right.
That gun was luring on him. I mean, it's luring on.
You know, running out of tentacles, huh?
That's why he got involved. I'm saying he was doing that to Gentry. Remember, Gentry said that. He said that. Well, I don't know. You got to ask him. Remember, he did that. So you got to ask them. So that's what I'm saying. But Stan Van Gundy hit on it, but it ain't too hard. He was doing the same thing in other stops. So that's why I call him the octopus. I know what he's doing, but he don't know. He don't know what he's doing. If he would allow, if he got some really good people in place, Swing Cash, Tranger Langdon, those are really smart people that know what they're doing. If he just get the hell out of the way, let them operate, we got something. But he wants credit for getting the playoffs, the Pelicans to the playoffs.
And see, my only thing is because we all paid attention to the league, this is nothing new for any GM. Like a lot of GMs are having suggestions to say, this, not Greg Popovich. You're not going to tell Greg Popovich what the fuck to do, but a lot of these other coaches, they are, some of these GMs or whatever have their input. My only thing is like, as long as it's not like you can have your input, but don't fucking completely take over. Like that's my only issue. Like you can sit there and say, hey, this ain't looking good. Or if you sit there and let something go long enough, like the whole Eric Bledsoe situation, and that was whack as hell. And it's like, you know what? Hey, I kind of hope you kind of speak up and sit there and tell him, hey, bro, you might want to play a little bit more. Or somebody tell him something, because he obviously wasn't listening. Because he was sitting there just had Eric Bledsoe out there, because we kept asking the same question every night. Why the hell is Eric Bledsoe still starting? And I think,
that's Stan Van Gundy, bro.
And the biggest issue that I think the reason why David Griffin looked extra stupid after the fact is because he came out with that comment that it sounded like he was supporting his coach, but it just turns around like, bro, you sound fucking stupid by saying, hey, you got to earn minutes. Like when he said that, everybody was like, what the hell you mean you got to earn minutes? Like Eric Bledsoe earned minutes? And like I said, after hearing how everything going and the news coming out about he had talked to Stan Van Gundy and wanted to see more kill Alexander Walker, that's why I think he was just covering, like you said, his own ass, not trying to seem like he made the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's the CIA guy. I mean, the CY cover your ass guy. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I mean, he almost lied like that, like who I just said. But I mean, the reality is too. Let me say this. You got it, my friend. But you're right. Some of these guys do that, right? Some of them do. Like some of the general managers get involved. But we talking, James, at the VP level. Now I've watched a lot of basketball and I've seen what a lot of these guys. I've watched what the administrators do. But when you look at a guy like David Griffin, the way he operates, and like we remember we played the pecking order. We showed the family members the pecking order on the Pelican side, or who's his. You got Gayle here. Then you got Dennis Lucia, whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. He's second, and then then up under him, that's the octopus. But Lucia he's not looking over Griffin's shoulder like he doing everybody else. The octopus is operating in a way where he ain't trusting nobody. He ain't letting guys operate. He's fiddling around in the matrix of the roster decisions and injuries with stuff that is he shouldn't be dealing with, because you're operating in a compartmentalized system. When you're in a compartmentalized system, this guy has control of this area. This guy has control of this area. This guy has control of this area. If that was not the case, then there would not be any need to have all these people here. We just wasting money. If you can do all of their jobs, then take them and put them out of here, and then you do the damn job.
What about this, Big Q? I noticed y'all brought up the Eric Bledsoe situation and Carl Lewis and NAW. I'm more inclined to think that he did tell him to play NAW, but I think starting Eric Bledsoe could have been a decision. Even if NAW was better, it could have been a decision from Griffin. I mean, it makes sense. It's a guy that you got back in a trade that's accounting for $18 million. The worst thing to do to tank his value would be to bench him. If it's this
A lot of good,
Exactly.
but a lot of good that did though, bro.
I know, but
but
that's
yeah.
a business decision, not a basketball thinking for the betterment of the team decision, but a business decision looking down the line to have that guy as a possible trade filler. But how can I have him as a trade filler if he's stanking up the joint? We got to keep him out there and hope he catch a rhythm and kind of build up his trade value. So we looking at it as it was Stan Van Gundy. I know we joked a lot of times, which is, I think, a part of it was, but I think also David Griffin was right there, lockstep, with making sure that that's what the man said. They got out of lockstep together, and that's when he got fired. When he wasn't lockstep no more.
DC, I agree with you on that, and I thought I was alone with that thought of thinking, because I'm thinking like the season's pretty much over at that point, right? So why sit Eric Bledsoe when we definitely try to trade this man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When we definitely try to trade him. So even though his value is still low, you know what I'm saying? It ain't at an all-time low. It's still at least serviceable to some sense. We might have to give up a few picks, but still.
Let me ask you this, since you see it like me, because this was part of my thinking too. Don't you think if we would allow Eric Bledsoe to be the sixth man and run the second unit, he would have been way more effective?
Yeah, I would, because if you look at toward the end when everybody was hurt and it was just him, he was killing it.
Right. They should have just put him in a situation where nothing was expected of him. You ain't got to just stand out there and make your threes when you throw you the ball either. Do whatever the hell you want. Just play free with the second unit. You know, that would have made a lot more sense. It might have looked weird because you got they probably would have put him, possibly Kyra out there together. I don't know how that would have looked, but that Kyra was a 13 pick. He getting minutes some type of way. So NAW's in the starting lineup. You got Eric Bledsoe coming out there. I think Eric Bledsoe probably would have still averaged the same amount of points, if not more, and it would have been more impressive. And his trade value would have actually went up because people would have been like, "Dang, why are they playing this guy off the bench? He looked like he could be a starter for them."
Well, I mean, DC, that makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. To put Bledsoe, Bleeding Soul on the bench to play against backups.
I can't take credit for that myself. You said it. A lot of people in the flock, we were all saying it during the season.
Right. I mean, because it made sense. The man was out there. He was struggling. He just didn't look. I mean, come on. I mean, but
he didn't look like himself.
Go ahead, Rudy.
But I actually have two things I want to touch upon. First off, I want to touch upon this comment that by Nola Baby Kevin Ken Conley, I believe it is.
Don't kill our dream, Brandon. Talk about they don't want Eric Bledsoe.
What comment?
It says Alonzo isn't worth 18 or 15 million. He hasn't done anything enough to earn a huge payday. 13 million maybe. Reality, $10 million is the perfect payout. I'm like, hold up.
Gonna turn into the Lonzo Ball show, bro. We went to bet for Lonzo
I'm
Ball.
saying, like, that's
2 shows in a row, bro. We got the
lowest I would probably go for Lonzo to give him is 17.5 million, but on the high end, 19.5. That's, I think, in the fair zone. At the lowest, I think a truly fair deal.
So if he say 20, Rudy, you just cutting it off at 19.5. That's just it. I can't do the extra 500,000. I can't do it.
That's too much. That's too much. I gotta pay the light bill. That's too much.
Yeah, because you also gotta think about the cap space too. But also, because we also got to think.
You can't turn over a sofa cushion and find that extra 500,000.
If you Gayle Benson, you can. I
about to say they got the extra 500,000.
Yeah,
they got that. If they ain't got it, we gave it to them with the new naming rights deal at $7 million annually.
Right.
$138 million going to the Saints over the next 20 years. They get $7 million free.
Look,
so they got the money.
I'm trying to figure out what took them so long to figure that out.
But I want to touch upon this something that you two said earlier about the Superdome, how we now have Caesars. You know. What y'all were referring to was a scripture of Matthew chapter 22 verses 15 through 22. But basically, Jesus asked for a coin because I was asking him, is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar? He asked for a coin and said, whose inscription and image is this? They all answered Caesar. And he said, and I quote, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God.
Preacher Rudy.
We've been preaching today.
Hallelujah.
We're going to church.
All right, Rudy.
Basically saying,
hallelujah,
you can
my
pay taxes.
brother.
Just make sure you give what belongs to God, the things that are God's, and the things that are part of that basically get the leaders of the time. You know.
Gotcha, brother.
Let me give a
shout. What that was? That was Matthew.
Matthew 22 verses 15 to 22.
Let me get a
verse 15, 22. Matthew 22 verses 15, 22.
Thank you for that, Rudy.
Good verse, Pastor Rudy. We're gonna pass the collection plate around at the end of the show,
and then give it to the Pelicans.
We are no longer taking donations.
Big ups to Kenneth, man. Appreciate you, Kenneth, for your cash app, my friend. Kenneth Stewart Jr. Thank you for the cash app, my friend. Much love to you and yours. But let me go ahead and throw some more questions around the family members dealing with it. Let me pose this question. We got the upcoming draft coming up here on the 29th, next Thursday.
Yes, upcoming.
Let me ask the family members this. Jalil, and also Brother James, DJ, and then of course Rudy. What would you do? Let's just go over you the general manager, or you the vice president of basketball operations.
You could let that go.
Let's get that straight, because if I ask you to be the GM, if you the GM, bro, then you ain't doing a damn thing. Let's just get that straight. But if you the VP of basketball operations, let's say that you was an agreeable octopus and not one like this other clown we got in here. How would you, let me go with you first, Jalil. What would you do with the 10th pick, and then how would you shape the Pelicans roster? What would your starting roster look like? Let's 5 and a 6 man off the bench. Let's do it like that. Jalil first.
Hold on. So let rephrase that question. You want me to answer?
I want you to be David Griffin. And I want you to be Brother Jalil. I know you can be better than that, dude. But I want you to run. I want you to decide on tell me what you're gonna do with that first round pick, that 10th overall pick, and how would you shape this roster to compete?
Well, I know for a fact I got to get a floor general. So to me, I would either take, and this may be an unpopular opinion, Davion Mitchell, or I trade that pick plus Lonzo. Get him the fuck out of here. I ain't paying him $20 million. Fuck that.
Okay.
So I gotta get me like Malcolm Brogdon. You know what I'm saying? If Kyle Lowry's out there, probably get him too. Not really. You know what I'm saying? Maybe who is some good floor generals out there? I would say Kemba Walker, but he off too injured. It just gotta be
a good floor general.
Nah, not necessarily. He's a good scorer, but floor general, you know.
Right.
But we just got to get that good point guard that could really settle us down and really like get us, you know what I'm saying, together. Because Eric Bledsoe dang sure wasn't it. Lonzo Ball is way too inexperienced and can't lead by his play, you know what I'm saying, as of yet. So we would just have to find that guard. Now, as far as the second round picks, probably package those up to take somebody, you know what I'm saying, later in the first round, like Chris Duarte.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I really can't say, you know what I'm saying, per se who that point guard would be. But I would definitely start No. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got B.I., you got Zion, and I would actually keep Adams. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Adams is he's a good baseline for Hayes at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because Hayes, I think he's almost there, but he's not quite there just yet. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to be getting good starting minutes, and it's going to be split between him and Adams. Right. But, I don't think we necessarily need to get rid of Adams yet. And as far as Bledsoe, if any team wants him, I just say we get rid of him and then sign us a couple of 3-and-D type of guys. Maybe like a Dougie McBuckets. What's the guy from New York, the Knicks?
Bullock.
Yep. Yeah, Sean Reggie Bullock. You know what I'm saying? Some
I
players
actually
like that.
Eric Bledsoe with the Knicks. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I think over there with Thibodeau, I think he would actually excel.
I agree.
Yeah, so I just think we just need a couple of more of them vets, you know what I'm saying? Probably definitely re-sign James Johnson, you know what I'm saying, at 4, you know what I'm saying? Draft maybe 1 or 2 guys in the second round. I still don't know who that floor general will be, but I definitely get a floor general, you know what I'm saying? Either Brogdon, Lowry, somewhere like that. But that's kind of how like my idea of how my roster would be.
All right. Thank you, brother Jalil. I appreciate you, bro. All right, let's move on. Brother James, you want to chime in on this? How would you shape a GM James? VP GM James.
So first thing I would do is that I would re-sign Lonzo at, my cap would be like $22 million at the most is where I would cap out at. So I would do, like I said, I think he's gonna be anywhere between 18, 19 million dollars. I don't think it's gonna go above 20 too much. But if it's 22, I'm not gonna let $2 million stop me from bringing him back. So I do that. The second thing that I would do is that I would package Brogdon in the 10th pick, and then trade Bledsoe in the 10th pick, and trade with the Pacers for Brogdon and the 13th, so they can swap picks with us. Because what it's looking like that the Pacers want Giddey. They want Giddey, or they want to be in the top. They want to be in the top 10. So the one thing that does is it helps us. Don't have to worry about it. We do draft somebody. That's a lot cheaper salary compared to if we drafted somebody at the 10th pick, and then at the 10th pick we could possibly still get a guy that was projected to be around about 13. So let's say Corey Kispert or Frank Wagner, I think is the other guy name is, like one of those shooters type, big 6'9" type of players. The other thing that I would do is I would do a sign and trade with Josh Hart to I'm trying to think of a team that I could get, probably like the Kings or somebody like that, and probably get one of their role players for.
You think Josh Hart gonna want to go to the Kings? He ain't want to go to Detroit.
Well, I think Josh Hart ultimately want to get paid is what he want to do. So like whether, and if he just let him, well, I don't think it really matters ultimately. Like if it's a sign and trade or not, cool. Like it's not no skin off my teeth, cool. You go whatever. But I would trade Adams. I think Adams we would actually need to package picks with to get rid of compared to Eric Bledsoe. I think Eric Bledsoe is a lot easier to get off of than Adams is because of his skill set. So somebody out there that needs a big, they have a lot of cap space. So look at somebody like Charlotte, right? So Charlotte need a big. Maybe New York, because their bigs tend to be hurt. Like you got Nerlens Noel, but at the same time you have what's the Mitchell? He's been hurt. Mitchell Robinson has been hurt the last couple of years. So he's that good.
Everybody talking about saying she would go into the luxury tax for a winner. Y'all
for what? You know what? But you know what's funny? I haven't even gone past the luxury tax with this stuff. Like I actually know how the luxury tax works. Y'all may want to go do some research. But the other thing is too because Eric Bledsoe, $18 million, he's gone. And then if you bring back Brogdon, that's what, $3 million. Because even without re-signing just signing everybody back, we still about $15 million below the luxury tax. So
I think you got one problem on your hands with your scenario. I like it.
What's that?
But if you give Lonzo $22 million and then Brogdon come over here making $18 million, I think that's a bit of a problem.
How so?
If you don't mind me asking,
Brogdon
James,
is a better player. And
but Brogdon is under his contract. Like that has nothing to do with it. That's the contract he signed.
Yeah, but if I'm a guy coming from another team and I know I'm better than this guy, and he got paid $3-4 million more than me.
But I'm
talking about that old Xavier Howard situation. That's what you're talking about.
That's not just a Xavier Howard situation.
But I think that's the current one I can draw from right now.
That's a current one right now, but it's all throughout sports. Q. This always happens, man. It happens when guys are having built chemistry together. That ain't his partner. You know what I'm saying? He just coming into this situation. You know.
But I think the difference is the difference between the NBA and the NFL is the fact that one, you always got people that's cutting and releasing and doing all this other stuff that you can renegotiate your contract. In the NBA, you're guaranteed, and this is your $18 million. And then, cause like think about it, anybody, all right. Anybody that he's making, yeah, it's fun how people are going to say Lonzo 20. Yeah, exactly. So it's the thing is though, anybody like right now, everybody talking about the Chicago Bulls is going to go out there and sign Lonzo Ball, right? And if he gets the $20-something million, guess what? He's making more than who? Zach LaVine. But Zach LaVine not finna trip. You know why? Because Zach LaVine finna get paid next year. Like that's the thing that a lot of people don't like. You're not. I don't think the NBA players is going to trip about. Like, yeah, let's say Brogdon is a better player, but Brogdon is still under contract for 2 years. That's nothing the Pelicans can do about it. He gonna go to a whole bunch of teams. He gonna be better than and still get paid less than because it just wasn't his time. Then when it come up, then he's going to get his money. But I don't see that being a problem in the NBA. Because it's a cap. Like you.
Hold up, Mike saying Brogdon contract goes up to $21.7 million and 22.6.
Yeah, 21 and then 22. So like
we gonna put $44 million into our backcourt.
I mean, I'm saying like I'm not saying
I like it, bro. I'm just asking you challenging questions because I actually said the same thing.
No,
that's no scenario. What you talking about?
No,
you wanted Brogdon up.
I'm asking questions about the scenario that I want to know about. James got
questions about your own scenario. You presented it.
That's
because I like James, man. He talk good, bro. That brother got some answers. He might see something I see.
I do.
Man, I use my flocking family. That's what I do.
Here's the reason why.
Here's the reason. Flocking family.
I use my flocking family. We all.
That is your damn scenario. You told me you would save Lonzo and get Malcolm Brogdon. That's what you told me.
Well, I'm looking.
Then you gonna ask him if he gonna put $40 million into the backcourt? That's you ask yourself that.
Hey,
I mean, but here's the thing though. So
go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
No, you good. The reason why I say that is because I'm trying to take advantage of the rookies' salary cap that we have, right? Like the rookies deals, like Zion still has 2 more years under his rookie. Nall still has 2 more years under his rookie, as well as Jackson Hayes. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to take advantage of that right now to make sure that my team is better for right now, so we can win. Like that's just going. All the moves that I made literally gives you just above. Not the luxury, like just gets you right in the luxury tax, and you still have the mid-level exception as well as the veteran minimum to still sign other players. Like if you do the numbers and everything, you still got about $30 million to play with before you even really go over the tax. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. So if you try
MLE too,
the MLE. So if you still trying to win now, and here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. You talk about say, hey, I'm not a good GM because I'm gonna sign Lonzo Ball. That's fine, but here's the thing you got to realize: Lonzo Ball, $22 million now is going to be worth so little in like next year by itself. The reason why that sounds like a lot right now because the caps did not move. It's exactly the same as it was last year. So in 2 years. Really, what you're just trying to make sure is that is this salary tradable? And as maxed out at $22 million, like I said, that's the worst case scenario. I don't think he getting $22 million. I think he getting $19 million. So if you sit there, you trade it. Let's say he don't get no better, right? You can and you lock him in for 4 years. You can still trade. You can still trade Lonzo Ball 2 years from now. If he don't get no better, because as much as people want to say you don't want to take a risk on it, guess what? You got people out there talking about going after Kyle Lowry, who's obviously he is declining. That's the one thing that people don't understand, that he is declining.
They definitely forget that part about it.
And he came off a significant injury last year,
right? And he's going to demand not 20 million, not 22, 25. Not 23, 25 plus million.
I heard 30. Well, no, I heard way out here in these 20s. I heard 30.
Well, he said 32. He making 30 this past season. He's coming off a $30 million contract.
That man got to feed his children like Latrell Sprewell. You need that same money.
and Jaleel, and here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't end up realizing. Lonzo actually might end up being your cheapest option that's going to be on the market. I don't think people realize, because guess what? Guess how much is Spencer Dinwiddie demanded? He said he want 125. He want 125 a year.
Hey James, I got I got two questions for you.
Okay,
Just
go ahead.
two questions about your scenario.
Chris Paul get $44 million just for that person that
So
asked.
so
Damn, we get two
with your
players for that
scenario,
James
right?
situation.
I'm sorry,
With your
say it again.
I said we get 2 players for that James situation. I'm resold on my concept, by the way, James. Good breakdown.
so
He's second thought
just two
yourself.
quick questions real quick.
Uh-huh.
For one, do you really think Indiana will trade Brogdon for Bledsoe and 10?
Yes, I do, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The reason why I believe they'll trade him because one, I think a lot of people point to the fact that just because they signed Rick Carlisle, that hey, they're not going to trade anybody. That's a lie. They've been wanting to get up off of they've been wanting to trade either Brogdon or Turner for a while now, and it's not saying they blowing it up. Everybody assumes that they're blowing it up. That's not blowing it up. They're retooling. So the one thing they want to do is they want to relieve some of their cap commitment that they have going forward for the next couple of years. You get Bledsoe, guess what? That's an expiring contract. You ain't got to worry about him after next year. You can cut him next year, and all you got to do is pay him $3 million compared to having to pay Brogdon $22 million. You got Karis LeVert that you traded for the year before. He's a shooting guard. I don't think him and he and probably don't really fox too much. So not that like they got issues, but I'm saying as far as on the court, they've been trying to get rid of Turner for the longest time because of the fact that he don't play well on the court together with Sabonis. Sabonis best position is the 5, Miles Turner best position is the 5, and they just don't go well together. So they're going to trade Miles Turner at some point. I don't want to necessarily play. Everybody want to talk about trade for Miles Turner. He's not that good of a. I don't want him either. He's okay. He's good, but if I'd rather just go find me someone that's just a good rim protector for cheaper than paying him $18 million a year. So the one person that I say we could get is Brogdon. And with the 10th pick, what that allows Pacers to do is to retool and to draft someone. Like they could go draft, like I said, Giddey. Giddey is 6. He's pretty much projected.
Yeah, they've been pretty high on Giddey. I've been reading about that.
And Indiana.
And guess who his comp is? It's Lonzo Ball. Like his comp is Lonzo Ball. So he's 6'8", and the only thing that he don't do well is what? Shoot. And he don't defend either. But
he don't play no goddamn defense.
Right. Yeah, he don't play no defense. That's the other part too.
He be standing around on the defensive end, though.
I see your point, you know what I'm saying? But it's just hard to believe because I would think the Pacers will want to get better. I understand they want to relieve that cap space. But you're not getting
worse, though. That's the thing. Like you're not getting better, but at the same time, you're setting yourself up because no matter what they do, they're not contending next year. They're not really going. The best they could do is probably the 6th seed next year. So if you're going, the best you could do is the 6th seed. Why am I paying all this money just to get to the 6th seed? Because they're up against the cap way more worse than the Pelicans are. It's not like us where we want to get better, but we still have so much flexibility with our cap and everything like that. Plus our draft asset. The Pacers don't have a whole bunch of draft assets like we do. So they're trying to load up. They're trying to get some younger talents. And as well as trying to still at least be competitive. Because when has the last time you saw where the Pacers had at least been competitive? Like they may not have been contenders, but they've never been like OKC was the last year or so. They've never been like Orlando. They all they've ever done is retool. So Rick Carlisle, he's not in a rush to win right now. That was a hire because they already had a relationship with him. And the last time before Frank Vogel was there, the last time they had a competing team was Rick Carlisle was on the bench with them. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't tend to understand with that regard. So I don't think that it's going to be hard to get Brogdon up off of him. And I think the one thing also a lot of people fail to realize is that you have a lot of premium point guard. Like the point guard is at a premium, but there's not a lot of teams that can afford those point guards. Think about the teams that's out there right now talking about getting one. The Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks are the only 2 teams really that could just throw money out there and get whoever the hell they wanted to.
The Clippers, they might have a few dollars because Kawhi don't look like he's sold. I still think they need a point guard.
Well, Kawhi may go, but at the same time, like, okay, so who's that guy that you can go sit there and say that we can actually go and get and still be a competitive team if Kawhi leaves? You got the Lakers. They want a veteran point guard. They can't, as much as they keep throwing out these names, they can't get Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry agent literally said that he is not chasing rings. He want to get paid. Like, so him going to a championship team ain't a must. He wants to get paid.
That sneaky Kyle.
My bad, Rudy.
So
wait, hold on. Don't you think? I was listening to James breakdown, and I really could see them getting off Brogdon, man. It makes a lot of sense. Like when you talk about it, and it just reminds me of the situation the Pelicans was in last year when we got rid of Drew Holiday. It's like a similar thing. Like you looking at the team, like to move forward, you might need to get younger and go through a redevelopment or guess a retooling, so to speak. And getting a guy like Josh Giddey, I think, will make a lot of sense. On the other aspect, while you was talking, I also thought Rick Carlisle, man, and maybe Rick Carlisle's looking at Giddey like, yeah, I could do what I did with Luka Doncic with this kid. Like we don't know how they looking at him or how they view, his potential or his upside. And also, while you saying that, I also thought about this too. We saw David Griffin and Bob Byers, which is why I did the draft profile on Giddey. I actually thought he was a pretty good player too, but I did the draft profile on him because they were at his games. Could that be the Pelicans hinting at possibly drafting him and pulling this off? Getting a trade, hopefully they get Brogdon, but there's still a chance they could trade for Miles Turner or something like that, and move Steven Adams somewhere and do something that way too.
The only reason why
this is interesting, man.
The only reason why the Turner thing don't make sense to me is because if the Pelicans are as high as they say they are on Jackson Hayes, you're not going to give Jackson Hayes too much minutes with Miles Turner.
I would have thought that, but I mean they brought in Steven Adams. I know we think of Steven Adams as like some 35-year-old, but the dude is like 27.
But so
it's basically like
ain't Miles Turner like 23 though? Like that's
Miles Turner. I think is older than he's at least probably 25.
25, okay.
Yeah, he's older than 23. I know he was in the league before Brandon Ingram, I believe. Maybe I can be mistaken, but I'll look up his age.
Chris Paul trying to chase rings, bro. Chris Paul ain't coming here.
James, bro. I don't know what voodoo. Yeah. I don't know what voodoo you gonna have on Indiana, but if you can pull that off, bro, hey, I'm with it, dog.
It's not as crazy as it sounds, though, Jaleel.
It really isn't. That
you forgetting Karis LeVert and his skill set to me. And James pointed this out. I didn't think about it until James pointed it out. Karis LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon's skill set is similar in a way. Like he's not as ball dominant as you think. Karis LeVert, he can play off the ball, but he can also play on the ball. In a lot of ways, it's like the same player. Like Karis LeVert is a similar guy to Malcolm Brogdon. He's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he plays the same position. Preferably, I mean, he plays shooting guard, and Brogdon plays point guard right now, but he can also play shooting guard. And putting them together, is it like too much of the same thing? Or it's like these guys that can shoot or can score, they're not great facilitators. And how does that look together? How are they looking at that as the Pacers? Wouldn't you want a great playmaker with a guy that's a potentially great scorer instead of have two guys that are one could be a great scorer, one's a good scorer, but you don't have like a great facilitator? It's all on how the Pacers see their team and what improvements. We might see it as taking a step back, but they might see it as an improvement because they might bring other aspects of their game of their team together. And then we still got to think about TJ Warren, which everybody forgets. That dude was dropping like 30 balls in the bubble last year before he got hurt. So what are they doing with him? Like, do we need all of these scorers? Got all these guys who can score. Who's gonna give them the ball? Who's gonna set things up? Mm-hmm. Malcolm Brogdon can do that, but that isn't like an area where that's his strong suit. Like he's a combo guard. Like he can do it just like how we look at NAW and we hear people talking about, oh, we can let go Lonzo and NAW be the point guard. That would be stupid. That's not his best way to utilize him. To have him play like a backup point guard role or a point guard role when your real point guard come out the game, you staggering, you want to do all that type of crap. Whatever, yeah, okay. But full-time point guard is just not smart. He's more of a shooting guard. Similar to Malcolm Brogdon, even though their games are different, but you get my point. So when you looking at it from that aspect, and they know they got a guy that they know who people are comparing Giddey to Alonzo Ball, or saying he's a generational type player. This is what some people believe about Giddey when you listen to them talk about him. They talk about his potential in the future. Maybe he isn't that this year, but next year, a couple of years down the line. It don't sound so crazy when you think about it like that, man. And then there's also the rumors of Malcolm Brogdon possibly being traded for Ben Simmons. If he wasn't a guy that they were already looking at trading, I don't think we would have ever heard that trade rumor that seemed like it was actually legit.
Go ahead, Rudy.
Okay. Go ahead,
Vice
Rudy.
President Rudy, yeah, I'll take that. Anyways,
hold on, DJ, just a second, bro.
Good.
Rudy,
now,
is that a cigar? Or is that your? I don't know if that's a cigar.
It's a Nerf dart. It's my Nerf. It's one of my Nerf darts to make it look like a cigar. But this is what I do.
Just like the video game.
I trade away the 10th pick to Memphis and take their spot at the 17 and back in the draft for the first round. But I also with this I trade Bledsoe and adds possibly to either Indiana or Memphis, most likely Memphis, for the 51st pick of this year's draft and a possible future second round pick next year. I don't know who I'll bring in, but I will draft a lot of rookies this year. So if it doesn't work, if it doesn't pan out, any of them doesn't want to pan out, I'll probably bring in I don't know who I'll bring in, but I will resign Lonzo Ball with on an incentive-based contract. His starting contract to be anywhere from like a 3-year contract for about $18-19 million, and he'll get the full 20 if he passes the incentives, like keep a good average and whatnot, And I'd probably bring in, let's see, I do like the idea of bringing Malcolm Brogdon in, but I'd rather bring in like someone who could probably help us out. Like I know for a fact that the Raptors are not going to get rid of Van Fleet. That's actually not a bad idea, But I would like to bring someone who's slightly older to where you can give some, give them that veteran perspective, what it takes to win the league, and definitely draft a couple centers, and maybe a couple forwards in the draft using my picks. But like if he's still on the board, I'll get Charles Bassey, or even one of my other players. Because I saw the draft order, I'm like, and Memphis has the 51st pick in the second round, and that's right before us in the 53rd. So I'm like, that's a good spot to have, And the 17th of the first round, that's perfect. We can get a good like maybe. I say we have too many guards because I'll let Alexander play and the other guy play, to kind of like rotate them in, get them more playing time. We all know that Zion's going to start with him, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram. But man, once my brain kind of stopped me for a second there.
Rudy, before you end your commentary, bro, if you get that trade going with sending Eric Bledsoe and doing all that, you good. You matter of fact, you need to be the basketball of operations.
You take the basketball of operations?
Yes. Because my thing is this. First of all, I'm doing my homework even before the draft. I was signing to trade Josh Hart to like the 76ers or
and that was actually going to be another trade away too.
Yeah, I was
thinking the same thing, the Sixers or maybe the Clippers,
Yeah, I was on the trade Josh Hart to like the 76ers.
He says I'm fired.
And see if I can get a pick out of them.
Yeah. I was
or
gonna say what I was going to do with Memphis.
or for cash considerations. Uh, I will pick up the 10 pick. I will draft somebody at the 10 pick, whether it be James Booknight, Moses Moody, one of them people. I will re-sign Lonzo just to make Zion happy.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, as far as Eric Bledsoe go, I will find a team that does not have a draft pick in this year's draft and give them Eric Bledsoe and maybe a second round pick and see what they're
Not
gonna give
much.
me for that. Or give them cash considerations. And I will keep Steven Adams just for veteran or talk about re-signing Willie Hernan Gomez and see what I can do with him. That's just mine. I mean, now
Yeah.
whether that second round pick for Eric Bledsoe be for this year or for in the future second rounder.
I say,
So
like I said, I was saying that, like,
that's just mine.
yeah, like I was saying, I agree with you. I could also trade with Josh Hart for like a future pick, but with but the Steven Adams, that would definitely get a future pick. Bledsoe will probably get a good second round pick this year, and all we had to do is trade back to like the 17th round in Memphis, because that way that way they can get their guy right like that, and not have to worry about a thing, because.
Matter of fact, we can use the pick that we got from Dallas, from the James Johnson and Russell Wanda trade, and package that pick with Eric Bledsoe.
The 53rd pick?
Yeah, and we can do it like that.
I mean, I was thinking about if I could, like, if I was going to trade with like the 53rd pick, I at least want to get something good in return, like a good player for a cheap deal,
But you have to find as the GM or whoever.
At one point, I thought about Houston, but like, no, that's too much of a stretch with the Rockets. They're not going to be able to. They're not going to take Bledsoe and Adams. They won't do it.
Like I said, I'm trying to before 12 o'clock hit for Friday. I'm doing my homework. Look, who don't have a pick? Look, I will trade you my 53 overall pick with Eric Bledsoe for either cash considerations or possibly one of your players. As far as like the 76ers, I don't know they roster, so I would
The Lord 76ers have a pick this draft. No, wait.
I think the thing that one that people forgetting is too is like you also have to make sure that team that you trade Bledsoe to has the cap space to take him on.
That's
and I don't think the 76ers had the cap space for that.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm saying Memphis because Memphis, I think, does have the cap space for it. So I think, and I believe that'd be pretty fair for them, because that way they can get a good. I mean, Bledsoe is he's on the. How old is Bledsoe again?
He's 30, I think, right at 30, 31.
Well, he could still teach some kids. He could probably still teach some younger guys about basketball and whatnot.
Nah, don't.
People want to teach them young guys what he do.
No, thank you.
But like I said, Memphis. But the thing is, Memphis, I believe, will be a great place for Adams and Bledsoe. If they don't want Bledsoe, I'll just give them Adams and just cut freaking Bledsoe. Plain simple.
But Rudy, you saying Memphis? Does Memphis have the cap room?
I think they do.
Okay, that's okay.
Let me before making assumptions, I'm gonna pull it up, see how much the cap space is.
And also, do they have a pick for this year? Because
they
do. They got the 17th pick in the first round. They got the 17th pick in the first round.
What's the second? I mean, what's the second round looking like for them?
Let me check. But in the second round?
Yeah, do they have a second round pick?
The 51st.
Okay, so I mean, it
allows them to go up earlier in the first round. And I would probably give away, hopefully they can give away the 51st of the second round, and that way, and to probably sweeten the deal, I'll probably give away one of our picks in a future draft, like say the 2023, 2024 draft. Just Grizzly cap space.
What about Eric Bledsoe? Pick for Buddy Hill.
They got a good cap space. They got about $25 million.
I would do that if I couldn't get Brogdon. I would trade him for Buddy Hill.
Yeah.
Okay,
Big Q. I'm
not mad at that, Kenneth. The with a descending contract, what do you guys think about a potential Buddy Hill trade?
That's a good. That's
the Buddy Hill. How much he make per year?
18, 19, I think, or I think it's maybe.
Nah,
19,
he made like 22.
Isn't
that 22 this year?
What team is he from?
He was Sacramento King.
That wouldn't be bad, but it just feels so weird trading for Buddy after we traded him to get DeMarcus Cousins, who came from the Sacramento Kings, and we go back to the Kings and trade to get him back.
That's what the Pelicans been doing. These two been recycling players for a long time, bro.
But listen, the player makes perfect sense, but that aspect of it just bothers me.
Yeah, he made 22 this year.
Shooter.
He made 22 this year, and then 20 next year, then 18 the year after. Like if he, like I said, I don't dislike that.
I mean, he makes about 17 points per game, so
he's the number one 3-point maker, I think, in the last 3 or 4 seasons, behind like Dame Lillard and Steph Curry.
Yep.
I mean, he'll help spread the floor because all he's gonna do is shoot threes.
But that's all he do.
How about his defense?
That's the thing that kind of
bothers me.
That kind of bothers me too.
No defense.
Well,
he's nice size though, but like he don't play defense, and it's weird. They be putting him at the 3 and the 2, and he's like 6'4". He don't play no defense, but he's gonna shoot your eyes out though.
So, what? Oh.
I think the thing though, like, and that's with the
10 too early for Cam Thomas. I think.
Yeah, Cam Thomas going like late first, ain't he?
I like it.
He going in the 20s.
But
I've seen him around
there. But I do think
like 20, 21.
Trading them to Memphis for a pick this draft.
One earlier.
Giving up another draft pick.
Higher,
I think would probably be a fair way to go. What do you think about my route?
I don't think Memphis.
We drafted Buddy Hill, Damien. We drafted him, traded him to Sacramento for DeMarcus Cousins. Then we'll be trading back to Sacramento.
Wow,
that just don't.
December 17th.
Something about that don't sit good.
Hey man, this is a business, bro.
I like the player.
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, how many times did the Pelicans reach back and get the same guy?
How many times has it worked?
I mean, that's not the point. The point is, the point is, have we done it before? That's the point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Then.
I think, but
every circumstance is different, though, my friend.
I will say this: it's not like he's a terrible player. Like he can't shoot. He can't shoot the ball. But as far as like what Rudy was saying, as far as his trade, the only thing is that I don't know if I'm Memphis. Like, why would I do that? Because I already got my star point guard. So like Eric Bledsoe not gonna get no player time. And then if he may get playing time, he definitely gonna be backing up. He's not starting. And then you got what's the center for Grizzly that they love so much?
Jaren Jackson Jr.
No, not him.
Mark Gasol.
Valanciunas is pretty good.
Valanciunas, yeah, Valanciunas, because Valanciunas and Jaren Jackson Jr. because he's pretty much a stretch big, Jaren Jackson Jr. And they play well together on the court. So I don't see they will, because that's a lot of cap for them to be eating up for them not to get no better.
I mean, if I don't trade him Eric, I'd probably at least trade him Adams,
Yeah.
And just so that they can move up in the draft and we can move back, that 17th pick I think is a pretty good spot, not too far back, but it's like right dead center, like not too far back, not too far up top, and at least give us a good chance to draft whoever we want. And if they don't want to give us the 51st pick, that's fine. Because we got plenty of drafts in the second. We got plenty of picks in the second round. So I'd probably look for someone who probably was willing to take Bledsoe and probably get them for a pick in the second round while giving them one of ours in a future round, in a future draft.
Mellon, that guy sounding like David Griffin.
Okay,
I
so
do. I think.
Big Q in DC. I got a question for both of y'all. And James, you can chime in. Anybody can chime in on this.
Okay.
So throughout the season, right? Opposing teams' backcourts just shredded our team all
Right.
season long. You feel
Right.
me? So I'm not debating the fact that Lonzo is a good defender. Just the team defense was bad.
Yeah.
But if we traded for like a Buddy Hield, are we really willing to live that situation again?
Right.
I will understand
That's
getting
what
a
I'm saying.
Brogdon and having a ball and Brogdon backcourt because that would be a lot more, you know, complete defensively in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as trading for like just a pure shooter who don't play no defense, are we really willing to relive that nightmare again?
I mean, I think a lot of things with the team defense changes if you allow Jackson Hayes to start. In my
Yeah.
opinion, dealing with those athletic guards, because if you paid attention, a lot of it was they
Even
just
that.
hitting us with high pick and rolls, man, and that's really what was killing us, making our backcourt look like it's just completely trash defensively, and it was really those high pick and rolls. We went through a stretch of games where we watched the Bulls and then the Blazers did it. That was kind of a highlight to the season to me because everybody was doing it to us, right? But people would do it in moderation and go to it when they needed to. Those two teams, they basically did that all game. They embarrassed us with the
Oof.
high pick and roll all game, man.
Oof.
And it really was a thing where Steven Adams couldn't get up to recover to get to his guy and then get back where he needed to be in time. It was just a bad concept what we were doing defensively. So Buddy Hill, I don't think it helps
No, thank
that,
you.
but I think they could find a way to still be productive with him out there because I don't think our defense was as bad as it seemed like in the mind of everybody with them exploiting that scheme. After that, y'all noticed Jackson Hayes started getting more time, and then they actually implemented Najee Marshall because Josh Hart went down, and we saw the defense take a very swift turn, especially with the addition of what's the guy we got from Dallas, man?
James Johnson.
James
James
Johnson.
Johnson.
When we did that, like our defense changed. It was night and day. Like we went to having a better defense, and we just couldn't score. We would go through stretches where our offense would be top flight scoring with the starting unit, and then we put our bench unit in, and we just couldn't find points. And the games kind of got away from us like that. But we were playing defense. You know what I'm saying? So we corrected that issue. So I wouldn't be like super concerned. It is a concern, but I think it's something that they can handle also by increasing NAW's minutes and kind of making sure Buddy Hill gonna get minutes, but he not about to get 30 minutes, 38 minutes a game. You're gonna give him like 25, and then you get the rest of the minutes to NAW, who's actually gonna put way more effort and play better defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's intriguing. He would definitely solve your shooting woes.
We only got 15 million cap space.
He would definitely solve the shooting woes that they have. And I mean, but in your scenario, do Lonzo stay there? Is Lonzo a part of that scenario? He must have dropped off. Where did he?
I think I think he dropped off. But I think at that point you kind of have to, like, you kind of have to. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
My bad. Got out. My bad.
No, that's all right, bro.
That's all right.
But I like the Buddy Hill. I mean, he gives you a shooter. I mean, I'm not going to get up in arms about the fact that he was here before.
I do.
You know, I think it helps. What's intriguing, the Brogdon thing and Lonzo thing, it's intriguing. It's very intriguing. But, like I said, man, we need to my major problem with the Pelicans, we know that the shooting was an issue. But at times I knew that we could win games regardless if we ain't have the shoot. Remember, most of the games we gave up a lot of games last year.
We did.
It wasn't because we didn't have 3-point shooters all the way around them. To a degree, that's a bit of an excuse because if we'd have closed these games like we were supposed to and been a little bit more smarter with our schemes and schematics
and ball handling
and things of that such, and our fundamentals, like we talked about free throws. How many games we lost because we couldn't hit free throws?
Like about half.
How many games we lost?
About 2 or 3 of them at least for sure. The free throw.
At least 2 or 3 of them.
I'm about to say at least.
How many games we lost not taking care of the ball and crucial moments?
You see what I'm saying? So
half the season.
That's what I'm saying. The fundamentals of the Pelicans were last year was the fundamental stuff. Taking care of the ball, keeping the turnovers down, hitting the free throws, stuff like that we talked about over and over
and
again.
getting and maintaining the rebound. So
recaps and on the various recaps that we did. But this is the issue. I mean, he does solve the issue of the 3-point, he being Buddy Hield. I like the Brogdon thing, but it's expensive. But then again, but the issue with the Pelicans is where the hell do we go? The next move. I mean, we looking for a veteran point guard. My thing has been to build the bench. That's what I've always been on, that bench. You got to have the bench. We have not have a steady bench unit. I think we're looking at the 5. Q, we need a number 1. Oh no, Q, we got to put this guy here for number 2. Q, no, we sip out Steven Adams and put Jackson here and then, whatever. But we are not looking at the bench. We need a productive, constructive 5, or, I don't want stagger no more. You know how I hate staggering. But we can have 5 guys off the bench to replace the 5 starters, and we'll be fine. I mean, really, truly, we have enough pieces here to win. We just got to put a few more pieces here or there and have a coach that can teach defense and balance, and we should be fine. They're talented enough to go out there and win the majority of these games and get into the playoffs. I mean, you just had a guy that just dropped a poison pill in the system last year. I mean, he just poisoned himself. Even when they were trying, he was criticizing them I'm not trying to throw somebody up under the bus, and then he get out there and throw him up under the bus. So I mean, it was ridiculous, man.
Nah, he ain't throw him up under the bus. He just made him stand in the tree while the bus was coming.
He backed over with the bus.
That's right, James.
He ran him smack over, bro.
And then back the damn thing up again. My bad, and then ran off. So, like I said, a lot of it was geared toward the dysfunction. And I'm saying if we can get that out the way, which Van Gundy represents some of it, the octopus a certain degree, but on court, I think that we have enough pieces in place. You add a few pieces here or there, and we don't tear the team down too much. Now, listen, let me just say this, fam, because I hear a lot of people with the Lonzo stuff. Brother Jalil doesn't believe in Lonzo, obviously. Several other family members don't believe it. Several dozen family members here don't believe in Lonzo. But listen, fam,
can I just add something just real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I believe in Lonzo, just not as our starting point guard for the future.
Okay, you better find one.
Well, I'm saying this though. Do you believe in Zion?
For a point
Absolutely.
Okay, so let because Brother Jalil is represents all of the flock faithful who does not believe in Lonzo Ball as a like Brother Jalil still says rule, not as a starting point guard, right? So off the bench, whatever. But he believes in Zion Williamson and most of the rest of the flock that think like Brother Jalil do. But if Zion telling you he wants Lonzo, see, you heard that side? Was that you, Brother Jalil? Was that you?
That was Yana. My bad.
Okay. So
chill, my dog.
Okay, what I'm saying is this: is that if Zion Williamson, the star of the team with 2 years left, telling you that he wants an ascending player that is in the same age group as they are. That's at 18. I don't think he gets more than 20 million. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think it's right up under there. I don't think it's going to be over there. I think a lot of this overblown. But if he's telling you he wants him, and obviously the Pelicans are a bit nervous about losing him, then you should be able to go and get the man. It's not like he the worst thing in the book. I mean, he's still an ascending player, and he gives a lot of positives here. Any other thing involves you going out and trying to sign competitively against other people to bring other people here that I mean, it to me, it doesn't make any sense. We homegrown. We have all these freaking draft picks. Let's sign this guy back here because 20 million ain't going to mean nothing when next year come around. Everything goes up. Y'all know that. We sign him here. We work on what we got. We put a few pieces here or there. We build the 5 off the bench. And then we have a balanced team. We cut the dysfunction out. We focus on the fundamental stuff, hitting the free throws, closing out, doing, you know what I'm saying? More effort plays. And I think that happens because they'll feel free in Willie's system as opposed to captive what they were in Stan Van Gundy's system. So a lot of these other, variations are expensive, man. They're very expensive. We got to ship half dead ass Eric Bledsoe up out of here. Then we have to think about getting rid of Steven Adams. It's okay. Well, Steven Adams, I won't double from Steven Adams. I ain't gonna lie, but he was hurt a lot. I think
he'll be easy to move.
He was hurt, but he was hurt a lot last year too. Right, but I mean Bledsoe too. I mean Bledsoe's on the final year of his contract. I mean they got somebody out there that
You think
want him.
teams want him?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah,
think you can get
expiring.
Bledsoe out
Yeah,
of here. Yeah, he is an expiring
Boston
contract.
want him.
and not only
Boston,
just
the Celtics
yeah,
want him.
They
and
got
not
several. They got some
yeah,
people that's gonna want him up out of here. But
and
go,
not
but
only
whoever go next, yeah, go ahead. Well,
oh
go ahead,
sorry.
brother James. No, go ahead, brother James, and then teach one's in the building. I want to hear what he got to say.
Oh, for sure. Like I was just saying, like everybody with the whole Lonzo thing, like you better have an alternative because it's not just a situation of Bi and Zion Wilson, because a lot of people just assume that like, well, the only reason why you re-signing him is because they want him back. They truly believe that he is part of a winning team. He's going to be a huge part of a winning team, because the thing that a lot of people don't realize is you better have an alternative. Like, who is your alternative? Like, what are you gonna go? Because the one thing that you got to realize as far as being in New Orleans as the Pelicans is you're not going to get too many of these players unless you overpay, right? Like Kyle Lowry, like you say, to even convince Kyle Lowry to get him, he already talking about he wants 25 plus million, almost $30 million. So you're going to have to give him that plus whatever to sway him from another team. You gotta have to give Spencer Dinwiddie the money. You just saw Dennis Schroeder just sit there and unfollow the Lakers and all that stuff. You want to pay Dennis Schroeder? No, you don't want to pay Dennis Schroeder. And because, like I said, the point guard position at a premium, like teams not letting up their point guards if they got them locked in for 3-4 years. Right. Like unless they're a situation like I said, the Pacers or maybe another team that's trying to move off of, like everybody talk about Dame Lillard. That's not a guarantee Dame Lillard finna go somewhere. And even if that is the case, the chances of him coming to New Orleans is very slim. So your best bet is to re-sign the talent that you have in-house. Yep. And guess what? You lock him in, because let's everybody bring up Colin Sexton. Let's say you do trade for Colin Sexton. Guess what? He gonna be due money next year, and guess how much he gonna get paid? They already talking about $150 million. So if you get Lonzo, you lock him in. I say you sign him 4 years, $80 million, right? And what you could do is say, you know what? You can have a player option or a team option at the end of your third year. That way, so if you ball out of control, you can up your next contract, and you will gladly pay you the money. Or if it's like I said, it's a player option, and he sucks, he'll lock in still at $20-something million, and we can still trade his ass for the same amount of money that we could have. Because everybody worried about him get worse, but the numbers don't say that he's going to get worse, because he's improved every single year. Every year. So even if you run the numbers and you base it off of that, the chances are he's going to improve next year again. And we already see everybody say he's a hard worker. Fred Vincent say that it took part.
Team cancer, none of that.
None of that. He had no issues, none at all in the as far as like him when working out. He and Lonzo and Bi, everybody, Bi and Zion are your two cornerstones. If they say bring him back, and it's not going to cost you $25+ million or whatever, bring the man back, because there's really no downside to it, unless he just fall off the wagon. At that point, like the only way this turns out bad, if he just come next year and just sucks ass so much on Eric Bledsoe level.
I just don't see that happen.
That is it.
But in Willie's system, I don't see that happening, man. For real, they're going to play free. They're going to play fast and free. It's going to be an energy. It's going to be a camaraderie about it. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be the exact opposite of what Stan Van Gundy was running, a tight compressed system where he yelling to the top of his lungs, and it's not going to be the same. And you can see it in the games last year when we had Van Gundy. They were beating the hell out of these goddamn teams, and then they took their foot up off of them.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell?
Van Gundy was up in the, guys, we're up by 20.
Yeah,
but what
he
we
just
really
sucked
need
the
to
life
do
out
is
of
play
them,
more
bro.
defense. We got to get back, or the lead is going to go. And
why do you sound like the gingerbread man?
That's how he sounded.
He built the wall, bro.
Man, that's what that would have. That's why he sound like that. He ate the gingerbread man.
They up by 20, and he's still harping.
Harping on the
detail. So he harping on the details. We're like, damn, coach, we up by 25. And it's just you get to a point, just human nature, man. You're like, man, whatever.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whatever. And Bi was the first to buck on them. And word on the street, he been bucking on them. DC, man, you talked about that. He been bucking on them. And that's why he don't talk about BI that much when he's all about Zion
He
this and
might be.
Zion that.
He might be a little scared of Bi, bro. Bi might
Well,
put
he
them
should
hands.
be. Yeah, he should be.
Put them hands on you now.
He should be, man, because in the
Bi put them
reality,
hands on you, bro.
that's why I said it should be better because Willie is not going to be uptight with these guys, and that's what it takes. I mean, of course, there could have been a better choice out there, but listen, I don't think Willie gets in the way. I think Willie helps. They're gonna give you Freddie V. They're gonna give you Teaspoon. She's gonna be there. I'm not too excited about Sam Mitchell, to be honest with you. I'm not excited about Sam Mitchell. But I mean, he'll help more than hurt because he is one of them grandpa coaches, as I call them. They got a lot of wisdom that he can impart, and Zion has some experience with him from early on. So I mean, it helps. So they'll help just as long as they don't get in the goddamn way and they make the right moves. But I just don't think you should, go away from Lonzo. This is not, and even if you wanted to do that, this year is not the atmosphere to do that. I mean, you got a number 10th pick sitting right there. You can get a good shooter, or you can use it as a piece to trade to move on to get somebody else that can accentuate what you're doing. But my thing is, I really need to say we need to focus on helping that bench out, man.
Yeah,
we really do. That bench is a major
agree.
part of why we was failing a lot last year, running out of juice and whatnot. But go ahead, Rudy, and then we're gonna bring teach one. I want to hear what he got to say.
Oh, I was gonna ask a question. This is just for anyone to chime in. As much as we like expecting out of the bench and whatnot, who would you guys bring in for some sort of leadership, for veteran leadership to the team that is be willing to take a pay cut?
I mean, the only option we got for that is James Johnson. I think that's probably the only guy we could get back here for a reasonable price that would actually help. You know what I'm saying? And not lay on your leg as a veteran and just do some coaching from the bench. But he's a guy that'll give you production on the floor. I think the guys bonded with him already, and we already seen his impact because they tuned Van Gundy all the way out, man. And then when James Johnson came around, it was almost like you seen the spark of life from this team, as if they were trying to put things together defensively. You could see him being here and within 4 or 5 days, and he pulling guys aside, telling them where they need to be defensively, telling them to get over here, and they were very attentive to that. So that would be my answer to that question, Rudy. I don't know who baited us into the Lonzo Ball thing though, because I thought we said we weren't gonna do this, and then we still wanted to talk about Lonzo
but you know
Ball
what?
for like 30 minutes.
It's almost impossible. It's like it's like going close to a vortex. Sooner or later you're gonna get sucked into it because it's hard to talk about the scenario of the Pelicans without Lonzo because he really the next shoe to drop, DC.
He's the biggest piece on the board right now because nothing happens until you figure out what goes on. Whether you want to get a big name free agent or not, he's the first piece involved in all of it.
You took care of the coach. The draft is coming up, so the 10th pick is there. So it's a part of it is what do you do with Lonzo? If Lonzo's not a part of the plan, and remember we revisited this last year. Is KLJ a draft pick to replace Lonzo? They don't see any future plans. Was this something in advance? Because perhaps, when they made the charge, remember, it wasn't Stan Van Gundy's pick. It was really the Octopus, and according to injunction with Langdon, that was involved with making a selection of KLJ. So if that's the point, did they foresee him not being here a year in advance? And perhaps we heard the report saying he want KLJ to start. Well, parts of that do make sense, parts of it don't. But the part that does make sense is that's his pick. So could he have foreseen getting Lonzo out of here? That's why I said you can't get away from the goddamn Lonzo Ball question because it's a big question. Who runs the team? Is it him or if it's somebody else? So at some point the team has got to answer it.
The vet guy I would bring in.
Someone's got to give,
The vet guy I would bring in. I'm just assuming that you can bring James Johnson back on the vet man. Is maybe, and a lot of people joked about him last year because they thought he was coming this year, but he wasn't. I would say Doran Dragic or maybe Patty Mills, or some
Patty Mills definitely
a vet point guard because Kyle, like
smart,
I said, I don't believe Kyle Lewis is ready, but I think that if you can get those guys to bring in and then also help him, like, hey, this is what you need to do as a lead guard coming off the bench. And at some point, because I don't think you need someone that's going to be here for 3-4 years. Because again, like you said, they drafted Kyra Lewis. Unless they trade Kyra Lewis, he's going to be in the future plan. So this is somewhere you can still develop. But at the same time, you bring in someone that come off the bench that's going to make sure that the ship is still running. Because I think everybody talk about bringing Noah in. Like, I don't think not starting is killing his development. I think what you just need to do is make sure that he's playing his best role, which is ultimately being a scorer. Like whether it's going to be on the starter or on the second team. And if you give a veteran point guard on the second team that knows how to run everything and make sure that Nickeil Alexander-Walker gets his spots, then there you go. Because you don't need 12 good players. You just need 9 solid ones, and then fill the rest of them out.
So what's your role for not NW KLJ then? What is he doing? What is he
they
doing?
already saying that he may go be in the G League this year because of the fact that he was supposed to be there last year. They get a chance. Like he was kind of like the same thing with Jackson Hayes. Only reason why he played is because of the fact that they had no choice but to play them in that role. Now again, if Kyra Lewis plays well shit, that's just better for us. That means if he outplays the veteran point guard we get, it is what it is. That's good for us. That's no negative. In my thought process is the fact that if he outplays the veteran point guard, that means he does what he's supposed to be doing, and then we ain't got to worry about that. And the veteran point guard ain't gonna cost us too much, but like a 1 year, 2 year deal at like less than $8 million, $7 million, whatever it may be. Or if we do have to play that vet point guard, Kyra Lewis has time to develop, and there's no pressure on him.
Each one teach one. You want to get on this, bro?
Oh man, James, my God. Oh, okay.
Damn, it's starting already.
So what I would do is, because see, I don't understand if we believe in Lonzo, okay. I don't understand is trading for Brogdon. Listen, give Lonzo his money, keep him. You need more front court help than you need back court help. Draft Moody or Kispert. I would say Moody, but I think he's gonna be gone by the time he gets to the 10th. I think either the Magic I think they're gonna take him, or he might go to the Warriors. But take either Moody or Kispert. Go take one of them Lakers picks and send Adams and get what his face is back over here from Indiana, Miles Turner, and because Jackson Hayes is not ready body wise for the Western Conference. He's not there yet.
He got a lot bigger than you remember, brother. Even this offseason, Jackson Hayes
getting 20 pounds. Didn't somebody say he gained 20 pounds?
Bigger, man.
I saw him talking with Lonzo.
That's what I heard. 15 to 20.
He looked a lot bigger. He had an interview he did like a month ago. He looked bigger than he did during the season. A lot bigger.
Still in all, even with that situation, I don't want to put a situation with Zion and them having to kind of depend on him when it comes to the offensive end of being productive. And I know he's been good. He has. But I just want them, like we talking about building a bench. If you get Turner and you send Adams away, you got somebody who can rim protect better than Adams, okay? You got Jackson Hayes behind him. Bring Willie Herman Gomez back. Like I said, draft Moody. You'll have Moody and Notch as your 2 guards, and Lonzo and Kyra as your point guard. B.I. and Najee as your small forwards, and bring back James Johnson.
You got a rebounding problem now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm
Turner. You start lineup. Go
well,
ahead, my bad. Finish, brother. Go ahead.
That's the whole thing of me keeping Hayes. And if we think Hayes is what he's supposed to be, then that's gonna have to be the situation. He's gonna have to rebound.
He on the same level rebounding as Turner. He might be a little bit better, but
that's what I'm saying.
That's why you had Stephen.
But my point is with Jackson Hayes is he can't be just a rim protector and not be able to rebound. At some point, he's gonna have to be able to do that. So that's the point. I understand what you're saying with Turner the rebounding, but I don't know if that's a big thing like people make it out to be with him. I don't know about that. But I would keep him. I would bring back with James Johnson, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't have to pay Brogdon, and then you gotta figure out, okay, like you said, what you gonna do with Kyra? Where does that leave him? Because you see how high they are on him. So it don't make a lot of sense for me to put $40 million in my backcourt. My front court is bad defensively. They don't, and the center can't help me stretching the floor. Neither center I got, neither power forward I got behind Zion can help me in that and facilitate that. So you need somebody to get that can help you with that, stretch the floor, be there to help Zion as far as, okay, we know Zion is limited as far as sometimes being able to be good defensively. So you want somebody that can be able to rotate to help him. Steven Adams ain't gonna do that. That's not what he does. He is just mostly rebound, and that's basically it. You know, he's not a rim protector.
I think the thing that I hear what you're saying. I'm not sitting there disagreeing, but I think the thing that you don't realize is that teams that are really trying to win are not putting a bunch of resources in the big as much as they used to in the past. Like even like if you look at Milwaukee, for instance. Brook Lopez is not costing them a lot of money. Like he's not 18, because even if you trade for Miles Turner, you're still paying $18 million on a big. And the guys that the teams that are winning a lot of games are not putting a lot of money into bigs. At the most, that may be like $10 million, but it's more of because all we really we need a big that can rebound and can switch. Now, that's why I agree with you with the Adams situation. Adams is not a guy that can switch whenever you play defense. That's why our defense was so terrible last year on top of our guard play, is because of the fact that, once you did that pick and roll, it was pretty much, lunch meat. But there's a lot of players that you can go out there and can get that you don't have to pay $18 million to do so. And even then, like you say, you don't get the whole, like putting $40 million in your backcourt. Bro, if you look at these teams, bro, like I'm talking about $40 million on two players. Chris Paul costed the Suns last year $40 million by himself. I said, if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday costed $36 million by himself. Like I'm talking about two players for $40 million, not one.
Okay,
like that's the thing that
Here's what we don't look at when we talk about all this. None of us put this in the equation. We talking about a cheap ass franchise that don't like to go over the luxury type.
Gayle Benson ain't cheap, my guy. Gayle Benson is not cheap.
Who told you that?
Did you not see the money? She okay. So one, the sign is she gave them all the money in the world to go redo their facility. They had the medical staff. She went out there and gave them whatever money they need to go out there to go get the high.
After you lost your franchise clear, that is. Remember, and it was getting misdiagnosed.
Hold on.
Remember, you remember you had with the cornerback that got misdiagnosed. Who's suing them?
I understand that, but guess what? That was under who? I'm sorry, I ain't trying to speak ill on dead, but that's under Tom Benson. Tom Benson, everybody know he was cheap. Like that's just what it was. And Gayle Benson, since she has been there, has been willing to spend money. Look, I'll tell you another reason. The only if you don't fire two coaches back to back if you worry about paying money, because I guarantee you, if they was concerned about money, Stan Van Gundy would still be here. The fact that she still got two coaches that you got to pay in the future because of the fact that you fired both of these dudes, that lets you know that she ain't worried about doling out the money. Another reason why you know she ain't worried about doling out the money too is like, look at the Saints. The reason why they able to do that cap situation is because they paid them up front. That's not on the salary. You have to give them actual real money that's not on the salary cap. That comes out your pocket. So that's what I'm sitting there telling you. That's not the case. She's not cheap. James, and she's already said that as long as you put a winning product, if you're going to win, I'm going to spend the money. She said that.
All right, pause. Let's break it up for a second, fellas. Break it up for a second. We got 10 minutes left in the show. And after that, we're gonna be shutting the show down. Each one teach one. We know y'all boxing right now. We gonna let y'all get back to it. So Rudy, let them finish their conversation, and you gonna go ahead and say what you got to say.
Ask your question, Rudy. Go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, and after Rudy, I just got one thing I want to say.
I know Big Q wants to build a bench, and so do I. So I thought of someone who could probably bring back for cheap to help build this bench, and it could be a good help almost immediately. I wouldn't mind seeing Alfred Payton come back because he was actually a pretty good player when we had him.
I don't want Alfred Payton back, Rudy.
So
just to help build the bench up,
I like D Rose. Somebody put that in the comments. I think that would be an excellent guy to get on this team.
Yeah, but see, all we can do for cheap, probably help the bench out a little bit,
Right.
That's almost. I like that. Like I like the Patty Mills thing too, with all that championship experience and all being up under that Popovich. Patty Mills is I like that. Now I like that not as much as Derrick Rose. Yeah, more than Alfred Payton though. But
I just want to add one thing.
Yeah, I got to thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. I think hearing all of our ideas, barring Lonzo Ball, they're similar. You know what I'm saying? Build the bench. You know what I'm saying? Jackson's still not there, but he's almost there, so he's going to need a person in front of him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? just barring Lonzo Ball aside, all of our ideas are similar, so we're all on the same page. It's
Yeah.
just,
We're
the
in
whole point
lockstep.
guard spot.
We're in lockstep.
Huh?
Are we in lockstep? Big Q don't like that word.
We in limbo right now.
James, I want to ask you a question. The last two people who won the championship, the Lakers and the Bucks, where were they?
Shooter.
Where were they in 3-point shooting and as far as bigs go?
3-point shooting, I don't think the Lakers was that good.
They
Right.
weren't.
But Milwaukee Bucks, as far as during the season, has always been a pretty good 3-point
they're
shooting
pretty
team.
decent.
But
in the playoffs,
in not just the playoffs, but in the finals, they weren't necessarily good. But neither team was very good in the 3-point because both of them were very good at defense.
Yeah.
okay. Now that's my point. See, everybody goes crazy with this. We need shooters. We need shooters. Well, the last two teams that won the championship was good defensively, and what the Lakers did, what nobody else wanted to do, was they said, okay, y'all want to get shooters, y'all want to spread. You know what? We're gonna pound y'all inside, get the rebounds, get all the second chance points, and you know what? You can't stop it.
Did they spend $18 million on one big? Is what I'm saying. No, they didn't. They had Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee is my point. Like they didn't spend most of their money was allocated toward LeBron James, AD, and everybody else.
Type of situation. Remember, they was
You just
holding
told
on
me.
the
You
situation.
just used that for the example.
No, I'm saying, listen what I'm saying. Calm down, James. Calm down. They were being held in a situation with Kawhi where they were waiting. Remember, they were trying to find out what was going on with Kawhi, and then that's how they got in that situation where they wound up having to take certain players that they wouldn't normally have went after. So that's how that whole situation came into effect. But I'm looking at trying to start a small ball lineup with Zion and how that would work. And the thing that worries me with him is that he's not good defensively yet, and he's not a great rebounder for his size where he needs to be.
But
you know what I mean?
I get you, but I'm not putting Zion. Everybody talk about the small ball stuff. Everybody say that because you talking about putting Zion at the 5. If in small ball in this situation, what we saw last year. But even then, like, okay, for one, here's the thing: Zion and BI have to make a step defensively this year. There's no hoping that they do or they can't do it. They have to do it because the thing is that Giannis, the two best players for the last, they were good. I ain't gonna say LeBron was a good defender, but he worked on the defense side of the ball. Giannis is a real good defender, and their whole team is a good defender. So all our defensive stuff, it got to start with them two ultimately. Like when everybody talking about the Buddy Hield stuff, like you're right. 100% of the time, like Buddy Hield don't play too much of a defense, but ultimately we can't rely on the other people to play the defense. It has to be from Zion and Bi. That's the situation. We going into next year. There is no choice. Like if the first thing Willie Green need to tell them is like, look, like I don't need y'all to be man stoppers, but I need y'all to be fucking hounds on defense. There is no other choice. You have to. Right. So then after that, you build your other team around that. So when we sit there, we talk about everything. Like I am not of an issue of saying trade Adams, go out there and get another big, or to what Jackson Hayes could be. I don't know what Jackson Hayes is gonna be. I hope he be that guy. But I'm not one of the ones that trying to go into next year and counting on that development for a surefire thing that's going to happen outside of Brandon Ingram and Zion being better on defense. The thing that I'm saying is that there's teams that are winning are not allocating a lot of their money, their monetary resources towards bigs. Like I said, you had Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez ain't making that much money. You had Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis. He's making $3 million next year. This next year. So
but
then
Miles Turner is not a conventional big. He can step out and shoot shots.
But my thing, he's okay. He's an okay shooter. He's not Jokic.
He's a threat.
He's okay. Like what I'm saying is his shooting percentage is the same as Eric Bledsoe. So my thing is that he's just as bad. But Eric Bledsoe. The whole reason why we didn't have space is because Eric Bledsoe wasn't a true threat. Like
but imagine sticking Steven Adams out there in his percentage.
But my point is, having Eric Bledsoe plus Steven Adams was the biggest issue. It wasn't a situation of just having one or the other. It was having both of them, and then Bledsoe was so ass on defense. If you have enough shooting on the perimeter around the other player. And again, we don't know what Zion going to develop because we already see that he's doing the mid-range stuff or whatever. He's getting better at that. But despite that, as long as you have a lot better shooting, you can have a big for the most part that is not necessarily a huge threat on the outside as long as he could get rebounds, because the whole thought process that if you double up on Zion and he missed the rebound, you're going to have Steven Adams there to clean up the board, which he did. That's why we led the league in offensive rebound. Well, not led, but we was like top 5 in offensive rebound.
I think we did lead the league.
We did lead the league, okay. But my thing is too is that outside of that, like I'm just, if I'm going to get off of Adams, I'm not bringing $18 million back for a big. I'm going to use that $18 million elsewhere. And like you talking about, we need more front court help. I think we need more front court bench help. Like if that's the case, like what, like to Big Q point of, we need to stack up the bench. Because the one thing we haven't had viable. We don't have a viable backup for Zion as far as point. We don't have that. You need to find that first if you're talking about front court help. And like I say, there's guys out there that you can get that you can still have a front court when, like, you could take, let's say you take Jackson Hayes off the court and you still run a lineup where Zion is the point and you have Lonzo Ball and you have BI, you have all this other stuff. There's a big out there that you can go and get that ain't gonna cost you $18 million that can still serve as a outside threat and also a rebounder. That's why I'm saying, like, Miles Turner is
Robert Covington making? What Robert Covington making?
$12 million. $12 million a year. You see what my point? Like 18 million. Like,
well,
but
Robert Covington, I wasn't asking that to ask that. Robert Covington is not the player that Miles Turner is. I was asking that to figure out. I think people
overhype Miles Turner a little bit too much. I think Miles Turner is a good player. I don't think he's a difference maker. I think if Miles Turner will be good on, he'll be good on the Charlotte Hornets. I think Miles Turner be good with the Boston Celtics. I think Miles Turner be good on a team that has two real good, like, elite forwards. Like right now, as much as I think Zion is gonna be real great, as much as I have BI great, I'm not building my team around that just yet. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing, putting $18 million on a big. And again,
also you don't trust those two. Your two stars.
No. I ain't saying I don't trust them. It's just, let's be real. They're not LeBron James. They're not Giannis yet. They're not that. Like, I'm not finna sit there and pretend like they are. Like, I believe they will be at some point, but we're talking about the next 2 or 3 years, two years to try to get there. Hell, Zion could average 30 points next year. He could, and say, make me sound like a fool. As much as I love Zion, let's be real. There is a difference between Giannis and Zion at this point. Giannis is a beast. He's a different story. You don't score 50 points in the NBA Finals in the closeout game unless you're in the top 1% of the league. Like, that's my point. And Zion still has a ways to go to get to that point. He's there offensively, but defensively he got a ways to go to get there.
All right, James. Go ahead and reply. Each one teach one. Then we're gonna let Rudy.
You right them wrong.
Oh, you gonna let him roll like that?
That's it.
Oh, this is a first.
That is a first. He got sniped.
And the winner is James in the red corner.
James,
cold blood.
by unanimous decision, the winner of the Pelicans boxing match, James Avery.
All right, Rudy, go ahead and give your closing remarks, and then we're gonna let Jaleel close it, and then we're gonna close out the show, fellas.
Well, I was gonna say, you guys pretty much hit the nail on the freaking head. And since freaking DJ ain't here, I gotta say it. If anyone disrespects your New Orleans Pelicans, tell them in a New Orleans accent to get the flock out of here and go flock themselves.
Anybody try to follow that? You supposed to tip your hat, Rudy. There you go.
I'll give you a tip of the hat too.
Nah, bro, I can't top that, man.
Well, you can't be taking his job now, Rudy.
DJ left, man.
It's the second time I do that.
Oh, he left? But you got mad about that last time.
That was for scouting, not the saying the ending.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I just want to say, man, we all got like similar ideas with it, man. It just, hey, we just gotta agree to disagree on some things. But
Yeah.
overall, man, we all know what we need. You know what I'm saying? Just have a difference of opinion of the players we get, bro. So, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think everybody
Ultimately, we
brought
just want to
excellent
win.
points, man. Different points of views. Like you said, Jalil, we all on the same page, man.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna figure it out. I definitely think we are. I think the Pelicans are gonna do a combination of what we all saying. We all have our perfect scenarios, but we know
And I've
very few
learned so
things
much
go
from.
perfectly as planned. But I think it's gonna wind up being a little bit of what you saying, a little bit of what I'm saying, a little bit of what he's saying, something like that. Or we'll be able to agree on a couple of the moves, and the third one we probably don't.
But
That's what we're gonna get. But they definitely, I see them making a move at a guard, another guard, because we're gonna get rid of Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Getting some front court help, like you're saying, each one teach one. And I definitely see them making a splash move, like James is alluding to, but it could be at a different position other than just like Michael Brogdon, of course. But the Miles Turner thing, I don't see it
Hey,
because we too high on Jackson Hayes, man. So
I hate to interrupt you, DC, but I'm feeling a little sentimental right now. I want to give you and Big Q a big shout out because when I first came on, I was like my knowledge of basketball was very limited, and I've learned so much by hanging out with you guys. So thank you
Give
so
it up,
much.
Rudy.
all right,
Give
Rudy.
yourself a
Shout
hand,
out to
Rudy.
you
Yeah,
too,
all right,
man. We
coach.
happy to have you here, bro. You bring a very unique, entertaining, and enlightened element to the show. Yeah,
Hey,
I
hey,
cop it off of
Rudy.
you, Big Q.
Hey, Rudy, man, pick up that cigar and take a puff one time, dog.
If I think it broke, but I can still grab one. But
Damn, you broke your cigar, Rudy?
it fell on the floor. I accidentally stepped on it. I got more though.
Rudy, you look like Bucky Stevens.
Damn, Rudy, every week, boy. Every week.
You look like
There you
Bucky
go, man.
Stevens.
There you go, man.
But yeah,
Rudy,
most
when you
def. I
get
gotta
that
be on
car
these
from?
more often, man. So salute to y'all, brothers, man. Appreciate
Hey,
y'all having me
glad
on.
having you here, man. You was
Glad
dropping
to,
some
man.
You
knowledge
was
in the
good,
chat,
Jaleel,
man.
bro.
Glad to
You made some
finally
good
have
points.
you on, bro.
For real. Big ups to you, Jalil. Much love to
You
you,
made
man.
good
Each one,
points.
teach one.
Yeah.
Professor James, Professor, each one, teach
Oh
one.
yeah, man.
They're professors at rival universities. That's why they come on
James,
here.
James, that nigga,
They
James
entertaining
got his
too, bro. I like when
PhD
they go
in
at it,
hate.
man.
It's like Mike
They
Tyson
got a
meets Muhammad
PhD
Ali.
in
He
hate.
said I got a PhD in hating.
Hate
Man,
degree.
I know you ain't talking about nobody hating each one, bro. Like you.
Oh, you pocket watching. You pocket watching Miles Turner. You dirty
Maybe I
dog.
should give me a pocket watch.
Hey,
I'm just messing with you, James.
no, I know you.
I
I know
told he
you.
got a PhD.
Hey,
Someone got a PhD in
Player
keeping
hate
and whoop
degree.
ass. So
The man got a PhD in hating, bro.
Player
Well,
hate
he
degree.
said I got PhD, but I was like each one teach one is the hate of the year. He said that I like hate you, I hate you, I don't even know you, and I hate you too.
he hates everyone
You
I
know
would
equally.
what?
say that's Willie. I would have to say
You
that's
know
what
what?
that distinction goes to Willie. Willie hates everybody. Everybody garbage to Willie.
Man, where Willie been at,
But
man?
hey,
I ain't been
nah,
seeing
Hey,
Willie
play
in
the
a
haters
minute, man.
Equal
club.
I
has
don't know
a
what's up with Willie,
PhD in
man.
That
I
boy
hatred.
must
Willie
be.
say
I
Brandon
I
Ingram
got a
is
master's in style.
trash.
He said he don't like
Like,
nobody.
damn,
Everybody
Willie, what
terrible.
you on, bro? How Brandon Ingram, she was an all-star, man. Let me tell you, that all-star ain't worth shit. He trash.
Bro, does he really sound like that though?
I'm lying,
Hey,
family.
if we got
Yeah.
y'all two got PhDs,
Yeah,
then
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I got a freaking
Yeah, man.
master's in style.
That boy said DC said let a hit dog holler.
For real, huh?
Hey, before we go, DC man, you gotta do the SPG impersonation, dog. Build the wall, dog. Go ahead.
Oh my
Well,
goodness,
look,
no.
guys, we've been here. It's been a very long time. I enjoyed
That's-
myself. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it real
Ladies and
big.
gentlemen, the
Before you
Caribbean
do it,
gingerbread man.
you gotta let me talk, Rudy. You can't interrupt my
Man,
speech.
shut your ass up, man.
You
This is
see,
Zion. Let's get out of here.
Look, wait, guys. Wait. Please. I'm asking you. I don't normally do this, but I need you guys to do something for me.
why does he sound like the parrot from Aladdin?
Iago, Gilbert Godfrey.
Will you guys make this promise for me or not?
I can't believe it. I just don't believe it. We're never gonna get a hold of that stupid ramp.
DC, you ain't shaking enough. You gotta shake a little bit.
Build my own fucking wall. You guys will help me.
That's terrible.
He always on that wall.
You want to build that damn wall bad, don't it?
Look,
Man,
The cold blooded part about it, the wall never gets built. You know that, right?
look, Big Q, Big
That's the
Q,
ironic thing about it.
that.
Big Q. He got that same wall Trump built.
I knew it was
I knew something was going on.
Then
Man,
they had a
let me
report this
stop
week
starting
talking about
shit.
a guy built a portion of Trump's wall with his with the
And
money
he
out
want
of his
$30
own
million.
pocket, and he want his
He
money
want $30
back.
million.
He want his money back.
Look, I'm like, that's his dumb ass. He knocking on the door like, hey man, where my PP on at? Wait, come on, man. What you doing?
I immediately thought about Stan Van Gundy when I read that article, y'all.
For real?
I said, goddamn, Zion and B.I. only built a quarter of the wall.
They say he told B.I. in the locker room to turn the radio down, and B.I. told him,
It's always
"Shut up."
happened. We're trying to.
That's a polite way of saying
He said, shut the fuck up.
Goofing off.
Oh, that what he told him?
Yeah.
Hey, look, one last thing. I'm gonna hop off of here, man. Like, one thing is that you can take from the Milwaukee Bucks is don't get too attached about these fucking these draft selects, these people that we drafted, bro. Because only one of them dudes that was on the starting lineup that was on that championship team, that was Giannis. That was it.
Well, they drafted DiVincenzo, I think. So he's
DiVincenzo.
He wasn't playing though.
But he wasn't playing. But other than that, it was Giannis and DiVincenzo were the only two guys that they drafted, and Chris Middleton was the only other player that had been there with Giannis from the time that he was drafted.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Big fact. But you got to have a competent GM.
Yes, you do.
I mean, hey, everybody thought he was stupid everybody thought he was being a fool at the time. So, hey, hopefully
when they gave all the picks up for Drew.
Everybody thought he was stupid. Look, did you see the owner came over there and hugged Drew Holiday? Was like, boy, you was worth all them picks. You were worth all of them. Look, he hugged the hell out of Drew. He was like, oh, you worth all of them. Thank you. Thank you, Doyle.
Well, let's hope Dr. Robotnik do the same for us, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I mean, the way it's going for Milwaukee, man, and barring the injury, them picks don't look like they're gonna be worth shit.
Well, luckily they so far out though. Luckily they not like they so far out. They like what? The first one starts with 2026 or some shit. Like some crazy.
It's like 20, I think 2025, 2026, and 2027 or something like that.
Other than Giannis, everybody else ain't gonna be there because Chris Middleton, I think he's 29, 30, and Drew like 31. So
man, let me tell you something. Chris Middleton can shoot, bro.
But he a dog.
Shooting is the last thing to go.
Chris Middleton is what we want B.I. to be. Chris Middleton is what we want B.I. to be.
I think him and B.I. are more similar. You think? I would take B.I. over him, honestly. But
I mean, I'm talking about on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
like
I don't think B.I. that bad at defense. I really think.
Oh yeah, he that bad.
Hold up, I think with the situation we had, man, and guys not being fully on board is what you see. Like, come on, man, y'all know how defense work, bro. If one man is out of position, it's all going to crap. So everybody looks bad. So let's give them a fair shot. We'll see them all brought in and how they play. Because if you go watch the B.I. with the Lakers, bro, B.I. was a hell of a defender.
He was.
Now people could put body on him and stuff, but like far as you getting around him and him contesting shot, man, B.I. was a dog.
And one thing too, like you're not finna outside of like what Drew Holiday, you ain't gonna find what Drew Holiday did to Devin Booker and Chris CP3. You're not gonna find that, bro. Like that's special. Just straight up eliminate a man. That don't happen in this league, bro. Like so at this point, long as they improve and they're a lot better and they at least try, like I think we're gonna see a lot better on the defense. Cause like a lot of people don't know that Willie Green was the architect of that Sun defense.
Mm-hmm.
Shot us.
You don't think Mitchell from Baylor gonna be like that?
Who?
Defensively, Mitchell from Baylor, the point guard
on somebody else's team, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. You don't think he's gonna be be a dog?
I don't know. I mean, Rick has come in and struggle. You never know who's gonna be a defensive hawk, because even as good as Drew Holiday is now, I don't think nobody saw him as what he was going to be defensively when he came into the league. But I mean,
that out of UCLA.
Okay, so
that's why he started over Russell Westbrook. People forget that him and Darren Collins, they both started over Westbrook. So you never know.
Mitchell gonna be straight, bro.
Right,
I think during the second year he probably gonna be real good.
Yeah.
Hey,
he might fall to us, yeah. He might fall to us, and we might have to think about taking him as a point guard.
That pick gone, bro. I'm gonna tell you
that
right
now.
That
I think we're gonna trade that pick.
That pick gone.
Dr. Octopus gonna make it happen, dog.
I don't see for what though, but I mean, like, what we getting?
Go ahead and make it happen. Big Q, take us on home, bro.
Hey, Big Q never fails. It never seems to fail. Whenever we're trying to close the show, we always find a topic and ramble on for like another 20-so minutes, you know?
Hey, bro, people enjoy
also,
being
I forgot to tell you this I forgot to tell you this in the when I was on the Saints stream with Paul. He said, I hope it don't look like Colonel Sanders. I'm like, Colonel Sanders only wish he looked this sexy, so.
What? Hey, Rudy, what you been drinking on, bro?
It's called life. Enjoy it.
Man, that's a good drink. Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Out of that.
All right, Fab. I appreciate y'all chiming in, man, and go out and get DC's moving, man. He's killing me. Go, man. Go get
already on DVD.
Already on DVD. It's been on there for a while, man. Go there and get brother DC's movie. It's Shot Toss DC.
If I buy it, you gonna send me an autograph copy?
Matter of fact, if you buy it, not only will I send you an autograph copy, but if you
an
autograph copy,
okay.
But if you get an order of it tonight before 1:45 a.m., I will send you a free. I will send you a free Young MC CD.
That's temperature with handling. And if you're act right now, the next 5 minutes, I'll give you an autograph shirt with the skillet for $5.99.
Damage control, you ain't right, bro.
Y'all some wild fellas, bro.
Y'all fellas, man. I had fun tonight as usual, man. Happy all y'all came here. Show up next week, bro. You got to keep doing this. We love to have y'all. If we can't do it on Friday, y'all know we're going to double up on Saturday because we got to have this segment.
You know it.
Big ups to the family members. Appreciate you guys chiming in on the episode of Pelican Post Game Report. We'll return next week. I'm pretty sure now that Willie Green's name, we'll start hearing about his staff, who will be members of the staff. Of course, the 29th is Thursday, fam. So that's draft day. Of course, Pelican Post Game Report will be in the house on draft day, July the 29th, for the entire summation of the day. Like we did it the last time, we'll be here for the entire draft process for reactions live from you guys, and we'll go over it and have a ball like we did the last time. So please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to share the show's link with all the other family members of the flock. So with that being said, I give a special shout out to the entire Flock Nation. Much love to all you guys are here, and we're going to see you later. Go Pels. DC, I'm going to buy another copy of your movie to give you some support. Okay?
He said he get royalties, man. He said them royalties.
And I'm gonna give you another 100 spins on YouTube.
Nobody don't listen to that, bro. Nobody listens to that. You got it.
You hear me? I'm bringing the 80s back, though. I'm going to bust a move. I'm gonna give you another 100 free spins. Yeah, I need to sing it. I'm gonna play that on YouTube, bro. Get your streams up.
DC, you need to stop hanging around with my moon challenge.
I'm gonna play it every morning when I wake up.
That's not good for your brain now,
baby. You know what I'm saying, Q? Bust a move.
All right, we're gonna
bust a move. I better jump around. Jump around.
wrong artist, Rudy.
No, but still a good song though.
All right, y'all. We gotta let y'all later. Peace and go Pels.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.